Hi, welcome back to another episode of Instagram Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. As always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Howdy.
How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. Hang on, give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm playing around on my phone right now.
No,
as
you're not.
As you could tell.
He's lying.
I'm trying to find my new favorite anime songs on Spotify, but it's so hard. If only there was an easy way to do that. Oh, now there is what you're telling me right now on the fucking podcast. Anyways, super cool. Anaplaylist.com definitely didn't sponsor us, but I think it's very important that everyone knows. You could just look up the name of an anime and it tells you all of the songs, intro, ending songs that are on Spotify. You could look up old shit. You could look up new shit. And a playlist was already a thing on Spotify that some dude made, and he does it by season, by show, and like a whole bunch of different things for playlists. And now it's super convenient. It's just anaplaylist.com. Check it out. Big ups.
That's the episode. Thanks for listening, guys.
Which is important because we're going to talk about like 30 shows.
Yeah.
Because this is our fall anime preview episode. We watched one episode of everything that we either are continuing to watch this season or is premiering for the first time this season.
Yeah, I missed a few just because I forgot, but it's okay.
But don't worry, it's just because I forgot.
It's just I forgot. So we're doing that. These episodes end up being a little bit longer than usual, so let's get right into it, man. Have you been watching anime that isn't this stuff?
I watched an episode of Non Biori.
I watched 2 episodes of March Comes Down Like a Line. What do you think of your Non Biori?
It was good. What about yours?
Mine was good also.
All right, we did it.
Cool, man. What's good with you?
Been watching 1 million episodes of Arrested Development. I'm just trying to catch up because I haven't seen the latest stuff that Netflix put out a little bit ago. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. And I've been playing a lot of Indivisible, which you could argue is anime. I wouldn't.
The intro was cool. Yeah.
The intro was made by Trigger. It was pretty rad. It's been a lot of fun. It's just it's a puzzle platformer, Metroidvania with combat style that's like, it's a very unique RPG, kind of stops the movement of everything. You're suddenly in a combat type zone. So it feels very RPG-esque. But then the combat gets really intense where each character has a specific set of moves and they have different kinds. So you could use 3 attacks and then it could all replenish, or you could just use 1 attack, wait for it to replenish. But each time that you use an attack, your movement kind of stops. Like the gameplay just focuses on your team's attacks and the enemy can't do anything. It has precise blocks like in the Paper Mario series. There are other games that do it, but I feel like Paper Mario is the iconic one. And it's been just so much fun getting each character and realizing, oh, cool, they have pretty good writing. I just got a new character on my team who kind of looks like Akko from Little Witch Academia. Definitely feel some inspiration there. She mostly has the thing that makes her feel like it is she's pretty ditzy. She also has that little like ponytail that's a tiny little tuft thing, that pops up
I don't know where. Yeah,
it's a very Akko look. But she's supposed to look like some kind of a vegetable. Her hair is super long. But she also has that little ponytail.
Little tuft. Yeah.
So I like that. It's fun. It's super charming. The style looks fucking amazing. Highly recommend it to people that are kind of on the fence if they should get it or not. I think you should get it. The dialogue's a lot of fun. The gameplay's fun. I find myself wanting to revisit areas, which is a problem with Metroidvanias sometimes. You have to go like all over the place. Giant crazy map that makes you backtrack. This one doesn't so much make you backtrack as it does like find secrets at the point where I'm at. It's been great. I got a cool pirate chick on my team, and then I got rid of her for this super big buff desert woman, and she's dope as hell. Got my main character chick, got my boy that you get in the very beginning of the game, just because I like him. I don't know. Something about everyone else shitting on him is fucking great. They're like, yeah, this guy sucks. Don't listen to him. He's the worst. And he's like, well, like, sorry, I'm the worst, guys. And I'm like, yeah, you are the worst. Stay on my team so I can bully you. And then, who the fuck else do I have? Oh, yeah. I have this guy that was a secret character, kind of. He was, like, hidden in a place, and if you could platform to it at the right time while everything was exploding, you could get him. He's this bandage man. He's kind of like he's like this fun desert buff dude. He's like yoked as hell, but he's kind of short, which I know you're into the short dudes like that.
I do like short dudes, yeah.
It's a fun team. I like everything about it. It's so much fun watching the characters fight, watching everything happen. They get super moves. Like everything could kind of go together in a very fun, natural way.
Yeah.
Love a game. 8 out of 10 right now.
Okay.
I might finish it. Who knows? Anyways, that's pretty much what I've been up to this week. Been playing a little bit of Borderlands and Monster Hunter, but that's normal stuff. How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been pretty good, man. It's been pretty chill. Nothing too crazy. I got to see my friend Kenny. He came down.
Ooh, Kenny.
He's out here at Beale Air Force, which is a couple hour and a half away.
An hour and a half away.
I got to see him after like 2 weekends of me bailing on him. Last Saturday, Vela got sick, so I had to cancel. And then this Saturday, I got called into work. I was like, "Hey, man, I can't hang out." It's like, "But you can come see me at the taco truck." And so then he came to the taco truck, and we just chopped it up. And I got to see his daughters, who I have like nieces and nephews and stuff. And I know
I have no idea. I don't know what you're gonna say right now.
and I know that obviously I love them, right? Like I love my nephew. That's my sister's kid, and like I don't know if I love Sierra's nieces yet. I care for them. Like they're like I get it, they're children. And I kind of feel similarly about Kenny's kids. Like they're you
have an attachment.
Yeah, I really like them. Yeah. And I haven't seen them more than like 3 or 4 times in my entire life, but like they climb on me. They, he's got twins, right? So the twin girls, like they climb on me. They like, and I play with them, and it's like I really enjoy seeing them. So
nice.
I don't know, and it's weird, because obviously Kenny and I aren't blood related, but like we've been friends for so long. Not yet.
Oh wow.
But it feels similar, like that joy I get. Like, oh, look at these. I'm like, there's no reason for me to love those kids. And I'm like, I fucking love these kids.
Sometimes kids are great, dude.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Most times they suck.
Hey, speaking of kids, I am going to unofficially be the pod mom.
Oh, yeah.
We had a request that I become the pod mom. I think that's fitting enough.
Yeah, there's this guy who, I don't know I think his name is like Simon. Simon. He keeps Simon. Yeah, he keeps commenting and liking our stuff, and he's really cool. So obviously he's a listener. So shout outs to the boy.
Big shout outs to the boy.
He called you up. He's like, "Hey man, I think you should be the pod mom." I was like,
"Fuck yeah, I will unofficially be the pod mom."
Absolutely, you'll never be a real mom.
No,
but you'll be the pod mom.
Yeah. Can.
Okay, so I did that, and then also I watched 2 pieces of different pieces of media. There we go. Pieces of media. One was a TV show and one was a movie. I thought it was really fun. It didn't really dawn on me until I was done. What I'd watched.
Yeah,
so
you've had a very particular thing you've been interested in lately.
Apparently, yeah. So I wanted to watch Gemini Man. I heard it wasn't that good, but I'm a real.
It's like such a flop.
Yeah. I'm a real fan of like Will Smith. I really like his movies. I like his acting. I was
like After Earth.
Yeah, no, that one was really bad.
No, that one was bad.
And I was like, I'm gonna go watch it. I don't fucking care. Right? I'm a Will Smith fanboy, so I was like, I'm gonna go see it. And what it boils down to, the story's pretty lame. The acting's not the best, it's okay. The characters are meh. But the cool thing is there's action scenes where he fights a clone version of him, and sometimes it looks really fucking good. Like it's full CGI. They used mocap, and they also de-aged him, and
lots of things.
It's wild. Like the amount of technology that went into making this is like insane, and it just shows how great how powerful technology is now and how it's moving forward. I'm like, that's super cool.
You mind if I interject for a second? Sure. So it was a critical flop. Gemini Man did not do well, and it will not do well.
Oh yeah.
Because of the story and just not the story necessarily, but the writing of the story did not do well.
It was actually based off a book, and it's like a completely different kind of book. It's like it's almost like Gemini Man in name, right? Like and they're like,
exactly.
Let's put Will Smith in it, and let's fucking blah blah blah. So yeah.
So what's been happening? It's been a project that has been kind of shelved for years. They're like, we got to get good technology. Oh hey, we have some people that are going to be interested in the project. Let's do it. And then everyone backs out and. Now that the technology is finally there, as you're saying,
at that level,
it is what people are saying that have read the books, that have been following it for a long time. It had all the right elements, but the story and the writing and the characters just were so flat. They weren't there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while people are saying it's because of the technology that we didn't do it. It's because of the technology. It
think-
might not be. It might be because of the shitty story and the shitty writing.
You think they could have worked a lot on, like, a little more on the story and the development of the characters, because you had so much time waiting for this fucking tech to get here, right?
I have very similar feelings. I mean, I haven't seen Gemini Man, but I have very similar feelings to Valerian and the City of 1,000 Stars or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That movie looked fucking dope.
It was fucking, but it was
whatever.
It was also pretty lame.
So,
yeah. Just because story-wise.
childish
Yeah.
and-
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, I enjoyed it at, like, face value for, like, what it looked like. I was like, this is
it was very
it's
cool.
really cool looking. I was like, this is great tech-wise. There are a few scenes where, you know, the CG character looks very rubbery, and I go, ooh, that's damning. Like, it doesn't look real, you know?
Well.
But I didn't go in there being like, this is going to be amazing.
No,
I knew what I was going in for, right?
Yeah.
And there's also there's a lot of product placement, but that's just a Will Smith thing. There's always product placement.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I watched that, and then later on in the week, I think on last Friday, a show called Living with Yourself dropped on Netflix, and I thought it was a movie at first, but then when I went to see it, it's like 8-episode miniseries.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a movie.
It sounds like a movie, right? Yeah. The theory. So I saw the trailer. I was really down to watch it, and it's Paul Rudd, who I'm a fan of. I
love Paul
I think he's a
Rudd.
funny guy.
Dude's
He's a good
great.
actor. So the premise of this one is, like, this guy's in his, like, I would say, like 40s, maybe midlife, right? And he's, like, kind of just, like, really sad, like, with the way his life's going, his marriage, his relationship, you know, is just not super happy. He can't seem to have kids. It's his, you know, everything, his job. It's just like he seems really just, like, down and out, and he just doesn't know what to do. Someone that he works with tells him about this spa that he went to, and he says, hey, it's an amazing treatment, you should go check it out. And he's just like, all right, maybe I just need a massage or whatever. He goes to the spa, they hit him up and they say, hey, you got to come in for your thing, it's $50,000. And he goes to the spa and he's like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And then he talks to the spa people and they're like, look, man, we go down to, like, DNA level and we'll fucking fix you. You'll feel so amazing. Everything, it'll all be gone. And he's just like, yeah, fucking do it, you know? And so then he wakes up and he's, like, in a shallow grave, and he's, like, busting his way out of a shallow grave, like, wearing nothing but a diaper. And he, like, you know, in the middle of a forest, he's like, what the fuck happened? So then he just, like, walks home. It takes him, like, 6 hours or 6 months. I don't know how. It was a really long walk. He finally gets home just to find that there's another version of him in his house. And he's like, what the fuck is this, right? And it turns out that this spa that he went to made a clone of him, and that's their solution. And this clone obviously is just way better than Paul Rudd. Like, you know, he's happy, he loves his wife, like, till no end. He's good at his job. Like, he just finds joy in the little things. It's like they went in and they made him just better. And so I'm watching this show, and it's like a dark comedy. It's like, you know, it's rated MA.
I heard it was more of a drama. Yeah,
but there's a lot of funny moments in it, is what it is. I don't know, man. There's just I'm really liking it because I don't know who to root for, you know, because, like, I feel bad for the original Paul Rudd, right? Because I'm just like, man, like, your life sucks. You know, you're not happy, and that sucks that you're not happy, and you try to make it better, and now you have this other guy who's just in your face, and everybody loves him. He's doing everything right, and he's just a better version of you, and you can't seem to figure it out. And I feel bad for him, right? But then I also feel bad for the other guy because, you know, he is this great person and whatever, but he's being used essentially by this fucking douchebag that's just like, you go to work for me, and then you come home, and you're not allowed to be with my wife, even though you think she's also your wife or whatever. And it's just like, oh, who do I root for? And it's like, so I'm really kind of torn. I'm really enjoying it. So it's just kind of, I thought it was funny that, like, in this 1 week, I watched 2 things that were about clones. I was like, nice. You should watch, you know, Living with Yourself.
Yeah.
Over Gemini Man 1,000 times. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the way they did it was, like, old school. Like, they had Paul Rudd set, you know, shot in one scene, and then they said, all right, cut, and then he would move, and then they would record it on that scene, and they would just put them together. I was like, nice, fuck technology, we'll just shoot it twice.
Why not?
Yeah, and it looks really good. And I think on the Hot Ones, I didn't finish the Paul Rudd Hot Ones, but he was saying,
did you get to the part where he was taking pictures?
No, I got.
You need to rewatch it.
I got to the part where he was ranking. I didn't get that far. He was ranking his favorite, like, British biscuit.
Yeah.
But before that, he was talking about how they shot it, and he was saying, like, he would have, like, he would record the thing, the lines beforehand, and have, like, an earpiece, and he would hear it and then react to it. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Like, what a dope thing.
So difficult.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you, man. He was
he's a talented man.
Oh yeah, and he's hot.
not just everyone's funny boy. He's a talented man. How old do you think he is?
How old do I think Part is?
Yeah.
Probably like 46.
It's 50.
No way.
He's 50.
Wow, my dad's 50.
Yeah. Your dad could have been Paul Rudd, but look at him. He's just got a very popular taco restaurant.
You're right. I should be upset. My dad isn't Paul Rudd. All right, man. We could obviously keep talking about stuff, but we have to get to one specific thing.
Yeah,
and then we can actually get into the stuff we're supposed to do.
Yep, that's true.
Here we go.
So earlier today, I was doing what I always do, nothing. And then Sierra texted me and she's like, I'm going to bed, but it's really important that you know this. Last night, I had a dream that I was hanging out with the Fruits Basket boys, and I was Toru. And it was all live action. And I'm like, that is very important. I'm glad that you had that amazing dream. Thanks for sharing it with me. Because I love dreams and that fun shit. Like, if I had that dream, I would be goddamn stoked to be Toru, right? Yeah. So she's like, but I was me, not Toru. But I was Toru, you know? So she said you would be jealous.
I'm not jealous. I think it's... Is there more to this story?
It was live action.
Is that it?
That's all she told me.
Okay,
but we can assume what happened.
The biggest implication
she
is
went
that
around touching them, turning them into animals, probably. You know.
So Sierra got, at worst in her dream, Sierra hooked up with 12 zodiac animals.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't care. I think it's funny though, because
I just thought it was so goofy that she's like, Juan will be mad.
I don't care.
He'll be jealous.
What's funny is that talking about dreams earlier this week, I texted you and I was just like, hey man, I dreamt about you last night.
I was like, cool.
And you go, ooh, nice. You're like, do you do any non-Catholic and non-Christian stuff? And I was like, I don't know. I can't tell you because I only know that I dreamt about you last night because Sierra overheard me talk, because I talk in my sleep, right? She overheard me saying something and I mentioned your name. Yeah. Not the anime, your name. I mentioned Trip, right?
Yeah.
And then I started laughing in my dream and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and you're like, oh, that's kind of disappointing, that like, that's all it was. He goes, you like appreciate the shouts out though, I was like, sorry man, couldn't tell you.
Because I mean, like any old fucking person gets shout outs from you in your dreams. Yeah. Show the first night you met him, you were dreaming about him all night.
Still dreaming about Show. Anyways, the reason we talked about Sierra's Fruit Basket dreams on the pod is because I came over and you were texting her and you're like, I'm talking to your wife about her dream. I texted her. She said, just record on the pod because she wants to hear me laugh. Okay. Yeah. That's it. That's all there was to it.
Let's get into the news.
Let's get into the news.
All right, cool. So everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. Kaguya-sama season 2 has been announced. Whoop, whoop. Wasn't for me, but I'm so happy that everyone that loved Kaguya-sama is getting another season of it.
I know what show this is.
How do you not know what show this is?
I do know what show
Love is War.
Ah, that's the Love is War. Yeah. People really like that show.
Yeah. So people are goddamn stoked, and I'm stoked for them.
I was talking to my brother-in-law about this, and he was just like, yeah, Love is War. And I was like, yeah, man. He was like, that dance was really good.
Oh, wasn't the dance good?
And I was like, it almost makes up for the fact that the show was barely animated. And he goes like, yeah, you're right. Dance was really good.
Dance was really good. Dance is for me. Show's not.
Cool.
But season 2, if we get another Chica dance, I am way fucking into that.
I want all the budget to go to that.
Let's go, Chica dance. Next piece of news. Violet Evergarden spinoff Eternity and Auto Memory Doll will continue its theatrical release in Japan past its original run due to popular demand.
Nice. Good for them.
So that's fucking cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
We'll eventually get to see it probably next year at Anime Expo.
How many movies have received an extended run because of popular demand in the US? Like, I don't think Avengers Endgame did. I think they were just like, we gotta beat Avatar, so let's just keep it in theaters. We gotta do it.
I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago when Sierra and I were talking about going to the movies, she said, you want to watch The Lion King? Because it was still in theaters.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what?
Disney just gets to do whatever they want, I guess.
They get to rule it.
Wild times. All right. Into other cool news. 27 of the 33 Kyoto animation arson victims have returned to work.
Congratulations. Really happy to hear that.
Super
awesome.
Wish them
the best.
Unfortunately, on another note, but also on a good note, a man was arrested for threatening Evangelion Studio Kara on Twitter.
Fuck that guy.
So, fuck that guy. He got arrested, and that means that ever since the arson attack, like, those kinds of threats are treated way more seriously.
That's good, yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that this guy got arrested. Like, shitty that people are feeling okay about threatening others in general, but that's just, people do that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that now there are reactions to it.
It's wild when people's fandom gets to like a extreme level like that. Like you know, imagine loving something so much you'd be willing to do something horrible for it, or like or hating something so much you'd be willing to do something about it. Like
there are some terrible people out there that just don't. They're dim, they're stupid, and they are violent and evil people.
Yeah.
When Breaking Bad was airing, people were sending the actress who played Skylar death threats. Like her, not her character, but her as an actress.
Yeah, because they didn't like Skylar.
Yeah.
I and to be fair, I didn't like Skylar's character at all. I hated her. But at no point when I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. She deserves to die. That sounds like that's the worst thing in the world. Like, come on, she's just doing her job.
Yeah. And she's doing it so well.
Oh, she's doing a great job. We're supposed to not like her.
Yeah.
You know? Walter, you're not supposed to like Walter. He's an asshole. He's a bad guy.
You're not supposed to like many people.
Have you watched El Camino yet?
Not yet.
Me either. I just want to check in.
But I did read a spoiler, so I am a little bit upset, but it wasn't a huge spoiler. It was more so like contextual.
Okay.
But I'm excited to see it.
It's textual. So, nice.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. I'm glad that this guy got arrested. Even like on the lowest level, like, you know, that video, that fucking twerp that, you know, jumps on like top of the register at like McDonald's screaming about Szechuan chicken or whatever, or Szechuan sauce.
Oh yeah, the
Rick and Morty guy. Like that even that pisses me off, just because like
anything like that.
Because like why?
People take it to another level.
Like I get it. You like the show. I love Rick and Morty a lot. I'm not gonna be doing some asinine shit like that. I mean, kids are just too impressionable. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Hey man,
what's up?
Demon Slayer. You know it? You love it?
Yeah.
All right, great. Demon Slayer movie Infinity Train Arc will release in 2020. The promotional video is out right now. People are beyond stoked. I'm sitting at a regular, you know, I'm stoked, but for not like those reasons.
I'm stoked too.
Not a Demon Slayer kind of fella. Tried it, fell off of it, but our homie Kate, huge fan. She goddamn loves that shit.
Yeah.
She was freaking out as soon as the episode, I think it was episode 19, people that watch the show know what I'm talking about. There are a couple of huge moments in that where we get to see a little bit more depth between both of our main characters, and she's just like freaking out over Netsuko. And then the last episode she was also losing her mind about. So
has Kate watched Promised Neverland yet?
I don't think so.
Kate sucks.
Yeah, it's fine. Fuck Kate.
Fuck Kate.
One last piece of news. Studio Ghibli films will be streaming on HBO Max in spring 2020.
That's cool.
I don't know exactly what HBO Max is. I don't know if it's just going to be part of HBO or if it's a new service, or I haven't looked into that a whole lot. But I do know that with Disney releasing all of their things on Disney Plus, you can watch pretty much like everything that Disney has done. So it's huge for people. I'm considering getting it just because I want to, just for like a month at least. I want to revisit So Weird. I loved So Weird.
So Weird.
Yeah. It was a a TV show.
Are you talking Disney Plus now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like HBO Max. Like
No.
I was like, I've never
Disney
seen
Plus.
Studio Ghibli's So Weird.
No. So
what was So Weird?
It was just a show about this girl that had like a I don't remember what they called it in the show.
She was like an esper?
It was her spirit animal was like a panther, and she went around with her family who were rock stars or country musicians or something like that. They went around in an RV to different towns that were affected with weird shit, and she would like go and fix stuff.
Okay,
so it's like Eureka, except it was before Eureka and it was on Disney for kids.
I think I've seen that. I don't remember them being rock stars. I do remember them like traveling, and she had some sort of paranormal powers, and she would like fix ghosty stuff.
That's the one.
That's the show.
Yeah.
That show was really weird.
Yeah, it was called So Weird.
Wow, we should watch that.
Yeah, I do want to check it out. So we'll watch that and review it on our other podcast,
The So
which
Weird
is called
podcast.
Disney Plus Juan and Chris.
We probably shouldn't. It's going to be really bad.
Yeah, it probably will be. I'm just going to watch it for nostalgia's sake, like I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark? Long story short, HBO Max will update you more with all that shit.
Nice.
Cool that Ghibli's going to be on it. Ghibli's got good shit, but I would also like more anime movies. Maybe just go to High Dive, but you know, whatever.
The powerhouse of anime.
Yeah, shout outs. And that's all the news that I have.
Okay,
So,
let's get into this week's topic.
2019 Fall Anime Preview. Beginning with Crunchyroll, we're going to talk about High School Prodigies Have It Easy Even in Another World, made by Project Number 9. This is all based off of a light novel. Mm-hmm. You remember the show?
Yeah.
This was the first one that I watched, and I fucking remember it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Here we go. Quick summary.
The best people in the world.
Is it 7 of them or 9? There's 7 of them. Hold on. Here we go. Magician, samurai, medic, politician, entrepreneur, inventor. There's one more. Journalist. 7. There's 7 of them. Nailed it.
Wow. Fucking you remember it great. So they're the best people in the world. They're also all teenagers.
They're
because,
also high school students.
They have to be.
Yeah.
Fucking so dumb.
We get introduced to all of them, and then they very quickly go on their private plane to fly somewhere. And
they're going to do like a best people in the world summit, like gathering. Who fucking knows? So they're all on the plane. Guess what happens?
They end up in a different world.
Oh, how'd that happen? They crash landed. Are they all fine? Yes, of course they are, because it's an isekai. This is like one of the most formulaic isekais there is, with such weird characters, and it starts out and you're like, all right, let's see where this goes, and then they go to another world and you're like, okay, well, let's see where this goes, because like clearly it's going to do that. And you're like, is that elf woman making out with that child?
It takes a very hard turn. Like when I was watching, I was essentially like kind of like, oh my god, it was very paint by numbers. Like they're the best. They're gonna go to another world.
Yeah,
they're gonna be the best of the world. We get introduced to 2 new characters, and like the first one to wake up is the politician, and he gets, he's like, I need to get up and move around. And she's like, don't move. You should eat. And he can't.
So weak.
He's too weak. He can't eat. So she chews up the food he spit out, and she then kisses him and spits the baby birds, mama birds, that feeds him the food, and then like there's like a single like strand of saliva. And
it was a fucking juicy.
And then that instantly
juicy kiss.
That like perked me up. I was like, is this really happening?
And it perked me up too, baby.
And then she went in for round 2 because
she did.
After he has the inner monologue and he goes, like, it would be rude to deny this.
And you're like, would it though? Would it though?
Because she's kind of sexually attacking you, Doug. Yeah. Anyways,
all he has to say is, wow, I feel fortunate for this because I'm into it. What's wrong with me? And that would be fine. You're like, yeah, okay, cool. This kid's into it.
I'd be rude to say no. He could be like, hey, you know what?
Because that's a crazy person response.
He could be like, hey, you know what? I'm actually not that hungry right now. Maybe later. Or, you know what? Maybe give me some milk. I'm
just like, I'm thirsty. What? Yeah. Not that. I'm not feeling that, but like, let's talk. Because I need to know what the fuck is going on.
Anyways, they quickly all of them heal up and they get better, and they've been living in this town that's run by fox people.
Yeah, for like 2 years or something.
It hasn't been that long. It's been a few months, and then they're like, we have to learn the status of the world. They end up using their abilities to like thwart off these like incoming like soldiers and stuff, and they're like, we got to go out there and we got to solve why we're here, and there's a prophecy about 7 people who come to this world, and yada yada yada. Dude, I think it's really bad. Like
it's so bad,
and it's not like it's visually ugly. Like there's like nice animation in it, and
it's just kind of trashy. And like
it's like
not
unnecessarily edgy,
not creative.
Like both of the girls have like the world's biggest tits. I was like why?
Yeah, Kyle. While we were watching this, Kyle asked me, hey, what kind of a world would you want to get isekai'd into? Like, what would be your preference for that? And I'm like, no, he said, what kind of a person or creature or whatever do you want to see first? Like, what kind of a town would you prefer to be? I would like to see it.
If I get isekai'd somewhere, I'd like to see a town of humans.
Yeah, I said that too. Well, not exactly that, but I said I would like to be somewhere with human-like characters. Mm-hmm. Because that at least is something that I could connect to and not immediately freak the fuck out. If I'm hanging out with a bunch of lizard men, suddenly I'm not ready for this. I don't know what's going on. Usually they're more tribal. Who fucking knows? Yeah. Like if it's more like what happened in the show, there's a good mix of elves and people and dwarves and furries. I don't know what to call them exactly.
They have specific. They're essentially fox people, right? Yeah. But it's like you're a furry. Yeah, that's for all the furry freaks out there.
They just have what? They just have ears and a tail.
Yeah, you know what's funny though is I was looking at their design. I go, okay, so they have ears at the top of their head like a dog would, and I go, and then a lot of them had like either long hair or like hair that grew on the sides. Like, do they not have human ears then? Like, can they not wear like sunglasses or like eyewear or whatever? That was my biggest concern.
You just have like big old rubber straps, dude. That's what you got to do. It's fine.
Okay.
See, now it would have been addressed if you kept watching the show. But anyways, pass on high school prodigies have it easy even in another world.
Yeah, it's just like it's a ecchi isekai with a bunch of characters who are just the best at everything. I'm sick of seeing that shit.
What's their goal at the end of it?
Their goal is there's that weird prophecy thing. They're gonna figure out how
They're just gonna figure out the prophecy. That's it.
They have to kill a dragon or I don't fucking know.
Some stupid bullshit that whatever.
Well, when one of the best prodigies is a fucking little boy magician,
like he's not just like I do illusions and tricks. He's like I fucking removed my head and put it over here without any kind of props or tools or anything. He's like magic.
I also like how they mentioned in the show, like, yeah, you know, there are humans in this world, like, and then some of the humans even have the ability to use magic. You ever heard of magic? And they're like, we know of magic. Like, he's like, yeah, you guys might have magic, so just so you know. So not only are they the best in the world in our world, they also maybe have magic. So that show's not going to be. It's not for me.
Next up, ORESUKI? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not good at reading. ORESUKI, Are You the Only One Who Loves Me? Made by Barnum Studio and Connect. It's based off of a light novel. Now, this one, it started out, and I wasn't exactly sure where it would go, but as soon as the first thing happened, I knew exactly what the show was. I'm like, oh, that's fun, but it's not for me.
So I did like this show a lot, actually. And I think... I think it's one I'm going to be watching. Essentially, it boils down to, because I don't want to spoil it, right? Too much. You
can spoil the first episode. I think it's appropriate.
It's about a guy who is essentially like this, in his eyes, the main character, and he's got two love interests, and one's like a childhood friend, and one's like an older, fucking classmate.
Yeah,
and they both ask him out on a date on Saturday and Sunday on a weekend, and they both have a good time. They're on this date, blah blah blah,
and he's feeling really good about it. He's like, oh man, maybe we're gonna kiss. I don't really know.
Maybe something will blossom.
Yeah,
he's being very innocent or whatever, and then they confess to him that they do like someone they like his best friend.
Yeah.
And then he's like he's like holy shit.
Yeah, the first one he's like, wow, that really hurts hard. Yeah. But I still have my date tomorrow, Oh man, but that hurts. And then the second date
same thing
winds up that way. And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and then honestly, the part that put me off of it is how much of a fucking neck beard ass red pill piece of shit.
That's what I like.
Is.
And that's why I liked him, because I'm like, anyway. So then both girls ask him like, hey, will you help us? Hook up with your best friend. Like, can you help us out? And he's just like, fucking fine. And so then we see in the second day that he's essentially gets step back into side character, and he's a total asshole, right? He's like, fuck everybody. This is bullshit. These bitches are just taking advantage of me. Fuck them. And then he does like the sleaziest thing is like, well, if I help both of them, one of them was going to hook up with them. I can just have the one that's left over. All right. And they go, oh, a sleazebag, right?
Yeah. Like he went out from being totally fine into what the fuck is this piece of shit?
He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
And so then in the very end, there's also like a third character is a girl that like is really creepy, and she's like been stalking him, and she's confesses to him that she likes him. And then she brings up the fact that she knows who he is. He's like, you're not fucking fooling. You're not tricking me. And essentially she like,
I liked her.
I liked her a lot too. She
from the very beginning of the first episode, I was like, I like her.
she calls him out on his shit, and he goes like, look, I was like, I know what kind of person you are. You were essentially the situation you have is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Like, you show people one thing, but deep down inside, you're kind of a sleazebag. And he's just like, fuck. So now they're stuck in this very strange love triangle diagram.
But she also is into him.
Yeah, because she's crazy.
Yeah, which for him, another fucking crazy guy.
Yeah,
go for her. Go for the crazy chick. Y'all are both crazy. Just do it.
I think I'm gonna watch the show. I liked it.
Keep me up to date.
I also thought it looked pretty good.
It did look pretty good.
It kind of reminds me, for people who who liked other shows, it kind of reminds me of sort of like a Love is War kind of show, right? So maybe if you like that show, check this show out. Maybe it can help you out.
Nah,
maybe.
No,
they're both both people have these like in Love is War. They have this like this thing like they're trying to put up a face, and they also have this like this internal monologue of them being like in love. It's just the opposite of this one.
Well, that one was more about outsmarting. This one's a little bit more like I'm just a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Next up, Ascendance of a Bookworm by Ajia-Do. It's based off of a light novel. I'm going to continue watching it, but I'm going to say this. It's not the most compelling show. I just kind of like it.
Okay.
It's like Dr. Stone, but it's a little girl and she's not really doing much.
For sure. Yeah. I remember we like heard the premise for this a while back, you know?
Yeah.
It was like about a girl who goes to another world and she loves books, but there's no books in this world. So she has to make her own books. It's like, oh, that's cool.
I think she was a princess or something.
I don't remember.
Maybe? I don't
remember what she was. I just know that in the world that she was in, she was just a huge bookworm, right?
Yeah, she would read all the fucking time.
And now she's in this another world, and she's a child. And this, what's kind of fucked is this child seems to have had a life before.
Yeah, but she's not like focused on that. No. She's more so like, all right, well, this is my new life. Guess I got to deal with it. Yeah. I liked how she was like, I'm supposed to just let this person bathe me. Like she is a little kid and she can't do this stuff because she just doesn't have the like muscle memory yet.
And she's also she's also like very frail because she's like sick. She's a sick child. So she's like, I can't walk up these steps. So my mom carries me around.
Yeah.
Like, the way I felt about it, she was like, it's not like it was bad. I didn't think it looked the best. I just think that like, it wasn't like entertaining enough for me. Like I was like, I'm kind of bored with this. I don't think I'm going to continue to watch it. And that was the only issue. And I think we talked about that. Like you're like, yeah, like not much really happens. You know,
not a whole lot.
It's weird because it also starts off with like her in the future because somebody wants to see her memories, and then they jump back to the past. Like it's a weird thing. So I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to continue from this or it's going to be jumping back and forth.
Yeah. So essentially, she wants to read books. So she's looking for books. They don't exist. Her family doesn't know what books are. They're confused as hell. And then she winds up seeing at the market numbers written on things. She's like, oh shit, they have numbers. That's fucking huge. So she quickly learns how numbers work in this world, and she's able to follow it pretty quickly. Numbers tend to be similar-ish in each language. So it doesn't matter what the character is. You could probably follow along easily. And then she finds a book at the market. She's like, oh my God, there are books. How much is that book? I want to buy that book.
Like $1 billion.
You would never be able to afford it. She's like, fuck, okay. Turns out the dad is like a guard or something like that. And his one of the people that he works with, he writes letters and he knows how to write and read and everything. But her dad's not that great at writing and reading. So she looks up to this guy immediately. He gives her a little practice slate that she can learn how to write things on. So she's practicing and she's doing stuff and she wants to learn the language. So her goal is to make paper so that she could write. She wants to write books, but she doesn't know the best way to do that. So she gets all these fibers, gets her sister involved, and then she starts weaving them together, and then she realizes it would take forever. So she can't do that. She gives up. She tries to come up with a new plan. She also makes shampoo because she can't stand how her hair feels. And then her family's like, whoa, what'd you do there, bud? She also showed them how to like do other things like crochet. She had her dad make her a little wooden stick that wound up being a crochet needle. So it's kind of like Dr. Stone in that these people aren't super civilized. They don't know a lot of things yet.
Yeah, but
so she's bringing this knowledge to her family, and she's trying to do everything she can as a little kid without that like huge drive. It's a little bit more like, well, I can't do a whole lot, so let's just deal with what my family's doing, and then I'll take care of stuff in my own time.
Yeah, it's for sure like a small scale Dr. Stone, because Dr. Stone's like, everybody's an idiot. There's one guy, and he's doing super advanced stuff. Like, there's no way you and I could figure out how to blow glass, right?
Absolutely.
But she's just like a little kid. They're not, people in this world aren't idiots, but it's more like, I know how to make shampoo because I want to clean my hair. And they're like, what? We don't make shampoo. He's like, okay, cool. It's just like, it's more like common knowledge. Like, right? And it's like, I wouldn't know how to start making a book, but I guess like it would make sense for her to learn how to write language, right? For her to write the story she wants to write. So,
and honestly, her drive to read and write books, she's probably read a ton of books.
Yeah.
So she probably knows some weird shit, because books always teach you things. When you're reading it, you're like, oh, cool. Now I kind of know how to do that. Or it's like a heavy focus of something she read.
Well, in the beginning, it says like this, the books that she read wasn't just like fantasy. It's like a huge list of like, geography, geology, chemistry.
Everything.
Like she loved reading everything. So she's probably really smart.
Anyways, I'm into the show. I want to keep watching it. They're doing really cool things every episode. Like you see a little bit more. I'm liking the family. I like the way that they're like, when you turn 7, you go and you work with an apprentice. And the only way that you could get in with an apprentice is if you're recommended by an adult. So most people are unable to get to this point unless their parents help them out. And like they learn after their parents. So it just becomes a family trade. So yeah, they're just trying to figure out what they're doing for that. Anyways, I like it. I'm having a fun time with it. I want to watch more. Next up is oh my gosh. This is the hardest one for me to say because it's like 4 names all combined together, which is part of the show and everything. Days of Urashimasakatasen.
Yeah.
Urashimasakatasen. Anyways, it's made by Gainax Kyoto. It's based off of music. You may have heard it before. Music?
Yeah, heard of music.
Okay, cool.
Is this music? Yeah.
Yeah, this is music. So there's a band, and they're Urashimasakatasen. Anyways, it's 4 dudes. It's all of their names combined, and that's what makes their band name. And this is the slice of life, like 4-minute long comedy show about their lives.
Yeah. 4-minute long, minute and a half of it's the intro, and it's like a chibi style show. I'm glad it's really short because it's really, I don't think it's for me at all, you know?
No.
The first episode was about them all being transfer students on the same day and how they all had different ideas of how it was going to go.
It's for sure not going to be something that people would watch unless they're a fan of the
music.
band.
Yeah. If you're a fan of music, this is the show for you.
Exactly. This is the music show of the season, so check that out.
Yeah.
Next up is Ahiru no Sora, made by Diomedea. It's based off of a manga. And let me tell you, when the show first started, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this. It looks like an okay-ish, I don't know, sports show. It looks kind of like generic sports show, whatever. And then the intro started, and it was the fucking pillows. And I was sitting there like, is this the pillow? This is the goddamn pillow. This is the fucking pillows. I know this band. Is this going to be good? It's all right.
Yeah. It's essentially, it's a show about a guy who wants to join his basketball team in high school. But the high school boys basketball team is essentially...
There's a bunch of thugs,
yeah, because everybody in the school is it's mandatory for them to join a club or after-school activity, and all the hooligans just kind of join the basketball club, and they don't do anything. And so just because they're assholes, they're trying to stop him from doing the basketball stuff. And he's like, no, fuck it, I'm a basketball player at my heart. Here I am. He's also really short.
Yeah. And there's these twins in the show. Yeah. I think they're twins, right?
They are twins. They're brothers, yeah.
All right, cool. And one of them is like standing up for our main character, and he's like, nah, man, I like your passion. I like everything that you got going on.
But I'm not going to play basketball with you.
Yeah, I won't play basketball, but I for sure support the fuck out of you.
And the other twin is just like, I'm the leader of this fucking gang of idiots, and fuck
I'm
you.
going to literally kill you.
Because I'm not going to let you play basketball, which is strange. I remember I was watching it, and I was like, oh, cool, it's a basketball show. I like basketball, and I've liked basketball shows in the past. It's not like super compelling. I was kind of hoping it'd be good because I like the intro.
They all look like Muppets.
They look very. It's the
frogs.
The style of anime, like the character, like the way they're
faces.
drawn. It looks. It reminds me of like older anime, but not like too old. Like it's just it's this weird middle-ish of the road. This show reminded me a lot of like Eye Shield 21, where like some people look normal, and then there's also just this guy who's just like a big round circle and like a dots fries, and I'm like he's a lineman. I go, why does he look strange? And no one really says anything.
It's just style.
It's just style, yeah.
But it's mostly like every single character, if they're shot from the side for whatever reason, they go like, they're like Attack on Titan ass, like no cheeks, fucking deep mouth.
Deep cut, yeah.
It's weird, man. And it's not bad. It's just fucking weird. It's like an original style I've never seen that's kind of grating, but like I kind of like it. Anyways, this show's a pass for me just because I didn't like enough of the characters. Our main character was too difficult to really support and be into because it seems like his only drive is, I like basketball.
His drive is, I like basketball because my mom liked basketball, and I think his mom died. I think that's the gist of it. There's a lot of dead moms this season.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know, moms die. Yeah. That's how it is.
I think I'm going to watch it just because I think out of all the stuff on Crunchyroll, there's only like this would make it 2 things that I want to watch on Crunchyroll. So it's like
that's understandable.
I'll check it out, I guess.
There are 2 things that I want to watch on Crunchyroll too. Next up is Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, made by Project Number 9, based off of a light novel. I'm still watching this. This is my cute girls doing cute things of the season.
We talked about this show earlier when we
watched it Crunchyroll Expo.
Crunchyroll Expo. It's about a girl who dies. It's an isekai. She goes to this fantasy world.
She was super popular, super smart. And she wasn't popular. She was just really smart, which made her intimidating to everyone else.
So no one liked her essentially. Yeah. So the only thing she wanted was to be average. So when she got reincarnated, she is average, but on a scale from like a slime being like the weakest thing, and a dragon, water flea being the weakest thing, and a dragon being the strongest thing.
A dragon could use infinite magic, essentially.
So she's in the middle of that, which makes her like a billion times stronger than any human.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not gonna watch this. I remember I did kind of enjoy the first episode, and I was like, yeah, cool. I don't think this is a show for me though. I'm just not gonna check it out.
Yeah, I watched the second episode, and it was all right. Essentially, she trains with her partners because first episode, she winds up going and taking care of this little mission that's not an actual mission, but she's like kind of suspicious stuff going on. Ooh, what's happening here? And then she meets up with everyone else that she met up with earlier, and then they take down this crew, which is essentially just her doing a super blast and like killing everyone and saving a bunch of kids. And she's with a warrior type person. She's got a sword. She's got a healer, and she has a mage on her team, or a sorceress, or whatever the hell. Anyways, they all wind up going to the same school because they're all teens, and then they're rooming together, and they start training together, and they're going to go out and do this mission together for class. Essentially, our main character, Mile, starts training them the way that she thinks that they should be trained. And since she's so much fucking better at everything than everyone, she's also good at training them well. So she's trying to show like the warrior chick, all right, so just like come at me, and then I'll come at you, and we'll see how it is. And I'll keep speeding up, and we'll see where like you can keep toe to toe with me. And she's like, all right, so I'm going to do it 1.2 times the normal speed that I would come at you. I'm going to do it 1.3 times. And she does that faster and faster. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? And then because of that repetition of training, she learns how to be fast herself. They learn how to do better magic. They learn how to do everything they need to do. And they finish their quest and do a whole bunch more because, of course, Mile just takes out these fucking rock golems and they nail it. Third episode is it's 6 months later. They're graduating. They're doing one final like mock fight. I don't really know what they called it exactly. And it turns out that they're fighting the same people from the first episode. The leader is a pretty high noble in their city, their town, whatever the hell. She's part of the castle. And they're fighting them. The first fight goes down with the warriors, so they're going at each other with swords. And then our girl is able to overpower the guy on the other side by being faster. Easy enough. Next one is, I like this one the most, I think. Yes. We have this mage chick up against the healer. So she shoots a fireball at the healer. And immediately the healer is like, oh man, you got me pretty good. And then she does like a full heal on herself. And this chick is like, what the fuck? And then the healer's like, you talk shit about my friends, I'm going to fucking kill you. And just comes up and is like, just going to kill her with her staff, not even use any magic on her or anything. She's like, fuck you. So she surrenders. Then they have like a firefight between the two mages. And then, of course, our mage is able to use ice magic and other kinds of magic now. So she's able to negate the fire and then starts attacking the other guy with the same attack that he used that would have killed her because he's evil or whatever. And he surrenders. So then the ref is like, no, stop. You're all good. And then the last fight, the guy doesn't even fight Mile. He just runs away. So the leader, the noble chick, comes in, stands in place. Then they have a little fight against each other. Mile doesn't know how to hold her power back because she's so strong and winds up like getting all fired up like she did in the first episode. Shoots a giant blast at her and then turns it last second and makes like fireworks in the sky. And this chick realizes she could die. And she's like, I'll confess to everything. Like, don't kill me or whatever. So she confesses and all the girls get like really good standing. Miles bringing in some stuff from her past life. So she's able to whittle really well. So she whittles all these figurines of her and her friends. And the healer realized that this could be very profitable if they become popular. And immediately they're becoming popular. So she's selling a bunch of stuff like after they just won that little mock tournament thing. And people are freaking out over it. And she's like, oh, fuck, did we just become idols? Like, what the hell? Well, it's a fun time. It's just cute girls doing cute things with magic. I'm into it. Next up, My Hero Academia Season 5, made by the studio Bones. It's based off of manga. It's good. You like it?
I didn't see it, but I'm assuming I loved it.
Yeah, you loved it. Without spoiling anything, the first episode's a recap, and it's a good one. And then we get into the second episode, which is the one that we saw at Anime Expo, which is also a good episode.
Okay.
Ends with a cliffhanger. Good shit.
Obviously, if you've seen the other seasons of My Hero, you're watching this season. And if you haven't, watch the old seasons and watch the season. It's like the best show.
My Hero Academia is really good. Some people just hate on it, but I think that they're hating on it just because there are so many things that are easy to hate on that other people love.
Yeah. It's a good show.
I don't know.
And if you don't like it, cool, whatever.
That's fine.
We don't care.
It's all good.
I'm going to watch this one. Are you watching this one?
Oh, yeah, I'm watching this one.
Okay.
The intro is... A lot of people were complaining about it because it's a pretty calm sounding intro and the music's a little bit calmer and there's not a lot of action going on. But then I'm watching the intro and I'm like, there's a decent amount of action going on. I don't know what they're talking about. And the reason people are upset, they're like, oh man, I thought there would be so much more action. It would be way more hype in the intro because this is going to be the hypest season because like there are nonstop fights in this season. I'm like, well, that's good. They didn't spoil any fights for us.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I liked the intro. It was a good time. Anyways, next up, Null and Peta, made by Shin Ai Animation. It's an original thing. So this one was an interesting one. Essentially, you have a little scientist that creates a sister robot monster.
Yeah. Imagine like Dexter Laboratory meets like Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
So like this little girl like is really smart and wants to make, it looks like a copy of her sister. Maybe her sister died or whatever. And she creates this thing. And I think she's Null. She's Null. So she makes Peta. And it's like ends up being this like blobby, furry monster or whatever that has spikes and things, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
And she boots it up and it's really short. It's like what? 7 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that.
Something like that.
And it's a comedy. There's jokes and stuff. And like she's like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in school. Let's go to school." I just wasn't feeling it. There's nothing I had against it. It was just more like I didn't think it was like that funny or entertaining.
It didn't hit any of the funny points that it was trying to hit with me. But I loved some of the animation. Yeah. I liked that some of the backgrounds had this like weird holographic feel to it. They made it feel very unique and original, and I appreciated that a lot. I just wish that I could have been into the show, but I'm not. It's not for me.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
Whatever. Either, yeah, I'm not watching it.
Cool. So next up is Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, made by Bandai Namco Pictures, based off of a manga. So this show is possibly the best show. No, it's a very like, if I was a kid, this would be a lot of fun kind of show.
Yeah.
It feels very childish. Essentially, this kid is living a terrible life. This is the part that's not childish. He's living a terrible life. His parents are just like abusing him, essentially.
Yeah, working him like a slave, essentially. Yeah.
And they wind up selling him to a demon because... whatever, his parents are terrible. Now that he's sold to a demon, the demon wants to be his grandfather, and he sends his kid to school and doesn't give him much heads up. You having fun over there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he sends the kid to school and doesn't tell him anything, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, you gotta like
be cool. Don't tell him you're human.
Don't fuck up." And he's like, "Well, how do I even like? I don't know anything." So he's slowly figuring out how to just kind of fit in with the group. And then he realizes his dad is the principal or something like that.
his a new adopted grandfather.
His grandpa is the principal.
Or like, he's like really high up.
Superintendent. He's like one of the highest.
He's super high up in the demon world. And he has to deal with, it's like a high school comedy, but he's also human or whatever. And,
so he gets called up to the stage, has to give a speech.
Yeah.
He reads some like evil incantation that's essentially like a big fuck you kind of speech. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else is like, "Oh man, I'm pissed. That's the one that I wanted to make to be cool." And the grandpa's just like, "Fuck yeah, I got you, man." But everyone else is freaking out over what this kid just did. And he doesn't understand at all what he just did.
He also gets called out in a fight in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. And it was
pretty. He settles it with the suplex, right? Uh-huh. Which I was like, I do like suplexes. It's pretty suplex.
Well, then we'll talk about another show in a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like too much the art style or just like the show.
It felt very cartoonish, like very kidsy cartoonish.
I do agree. Like if I was younger, maybe I would have enjoyed this more. But it's not for me.
All right, cool. Next up is Assassin's Pride, made by EMT Squared. It's based off of a light novel, and this might be the one that I'm giving to Kyle for the season.
Okay, yeah.
That's the level that it's at. It's one of the trashiest shows, in my opinion.
So it's weird because it starts off, and I kind of liked it at first.
Yeah, I was trying to feel it. I was kind of feeling it.
So there's kind of like this military-esque vibe to it. This guy's like killing a bunch of people who are like, I don't know, they've invaded somebody's office and they've assassinated somebody. And he thwarts them off, and there's one guy who's left behind, and he says like, "We're gonna get you, ha ha ha." He's like the bad guy, and he disappears, and then he goes, "Oh, you did good. All right, time for your new assignment." And they send him away. So he's a part of some sort of military or whatever.
Yeah, some kind of a special organization.
They send him away. Also, in this world, like people, it's some sort of like post-apocalyptic thing where people live in this like pods that are branched off into this weird tree-looking thing. Remember that?
Yeah, and it's also got
vampires,
some magic and vampires and like werewolves and shit.
Because he's a vampire, I think.
Something like that.
Anyways, he gets his new assignment, and we quickly find out his new assignment is to take care of this girl and be her master. So she's the apprentice, right, and teach her how to be better, I guess, because she doesn't seem to have mana, I think, or magic or something. Yeah,
even though she is the heir to this family.
Yeah, she should
famous family.
She should, be super strong like everybody else, but she can't seem to figure it out. So then it becomes this weird thing where he's taking her to school, and she gets picked on by some people who do have magical powers.
Yeah,
like, they thwomp the shit out of her, and then she has like a weird moment with like a cousin of hers who seems to be excelling with magic, and it just became very, I don't know. It was very annoying to watch, and I didn't like it. And it's weird because I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't really get a feel for why I hated it so much.
Their clothes were dumb.
The clothes was really bad too. The way they dressed was like, especially for these kids.
Yeah,
they were
a little bit too
provocative. Like a lot of skin was being shown. They're also like not like they're not developed, right? They're drawn in a sexy way, but they're not sexy.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah, it just feels like this might be a Lolita fetish kind of show.
Oh yeah. You know what? That might be it. Maybe it was too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel like if you like, I don't want to say it. I was about to say,
yeah,
hey, if
don't.
you like young girls.
No.
Hey, check out this show.
No.
It said it.
No.
It's been said.
Anyways, then it turns out he has to kill her, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So there's the conflict. This little girl that, even though he's a trained assassin, he doesn't want to kill anymore. Instead, he wants to teach her magic and Hey, True Cooking Master Boy, made by Production IG and Nihon Ad Systems. This is based off of a manga, and
we talked about this.
There was also an ancient ass anime too.
Yeah,
and I'm talking like 90s.
So this is kind of like how Dororo had its original anime.
Yeah, back in like the 60s.
And then how this past few seasons ago they made a new one.
Oh, and it was fucking incredible.
And they updated the story and the art and everything. So for this one, they didn't do any of that. The art is a little nicer just because of technology.
Yeah,
but the storytelling,
the lines are cleaner.
The storytelling and like the characterizations are very reminiscent of like old school anime.
So this takes place directly after the 1990s anime,
which we all watched.
Yeah, which we definitely did. So now our cooking master boy is truly a cooking master.
Yeah.
Essentially, he enters a competition to make a chicken dish, and this is very Chinese, by the way.
Yeah.
Everything is super Chinese. All of the characters and the looks and the designs, all of it's super Chinese. So he's making a silky fowl dinner dish.
It's rice. It's rice that was.
It's just rice.
It's rice that was stuffed inside of a bird, and then they cooked it. So I got the essence of the chicken.
Essentially, it's like cooking rice and chicken broth.
Yeah, that's what he did, and people lost their fucking mind. So here's the thing. The reason I wanted to like this is because I thought it looked really cool. Like visually,
I'm like, okay, so this is like an old school feeling Chinese kind of like, ooh, okay, let's see. All right.
This is an interesting style of anime. I'm really enjoying parts of it because there's also parts I really didn't like. When they introduced the people who were judging the chicken. It's like, and it's three dumbasses that have this stupid fucking mohawk mullets and they look like roosters. I'm like, and they all look the same and they all have the same voice. I was like, I fucking hate that about them.
It just got worse. with every line that was said, it just got worse.
It's very cringy. It's very like,
it's boring. If I was a kid, I might have been all about it because like I liked fighting food on. So I'm like, oh, this is a less like goofy version because I'm mature. I'm 10. I could watch this.
If you were a kid, you'd probably be like, oh man, that's pretty cool. These jokes are pretty funny, even though they're dumb. What I also really thought was they did really poorly was I didn't know it was like a sequel to a really old show till you told me because I was like,
when I looked it up, I was like, what in the fuck? Like, that makes sense.
Because in the first episode, they kind of have flashbacks and people are like, don't you know who this guy is? And then,
oh man, he won everything.
And then we see a character who was also in the old series, who was, I guess, the his final competition for like to become the master. And it's revealed that they both get turned into Master Chefs boys or whatever. So I'm just like, oh, cool. I'm glad I knew that this was a sequel to something that was super fucking ancient. I don't know. I wanted to like it because I thought it looked interesting, but it's not good.
Well, let's go back into the modern age with Funimation. We're done with Crunchyroll. That's all the crunching that y'all have time for. Now we're on to Funimation. The first show that we're going to talk about is Azure Lane, made by Vivri Animation Studios. It's based off of a game, and this is my favorite show of the season.
I don't like this show.
You don't like this show?
I don't like this show.
Can you tell me one reason why you don't like this show?
I think it's dumb. I think it's fucking stupid.
All right, cool. So, all right, where do you start? Okay.
Go for it.
You got a bunch of girls, like a fucking lot. 20?
More.
25.
A little less.
Like 23
like
and a
24
half.
and a half. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
There's a lot of characters in the show.
Lots of them. They're all girls. Very important to note that they are all girls who can turn into battleships.
Yeah.
So they fucking do. Essentially, they have battleships that parts of it like go and attach onto them, and then they are essentially mechs. But instead of that, they're just like scantily clad girls running around in their bikinis on top of water, kind of like they're flying along the top of the water. So they're like these water flight jet ski mechatronic girls that are totally like real people that have these things that are attached to their hips that are usually like missiles and shit. Sometimes they have swords, and essentially they're just like battleshipping each other while flying around on the water. And how is that not the hypest? Like, it looked fucking incredible though, right? Wasn't the explosion in the sky when like the unicorn came out, wasn't that fucking awesome? Wasn't that shit dope? And then you have the enemies, and they're bad guys, so they're bad, so you know you don't like them because they're bad, right? But they're fighting the good guys, and you're like, oh, is that guy actually bad? I don't know, it seems like they might be kind of okay. And then it turns out that they're bad. Isn't that cool?
Okay, so
boobs.
Putting aside all the things Trip said, so in this world, humanity got attacked by some sort of outer space beings or whatever.
Who gives a shit?
And I'm trying to give them the fucking plot. So they got attacked by these outer space beings, and their humanity was pretty fucked. And to fight that, there's like 4 factions in the world. 2 of the factions are essentially the United States and Europe, and they're the Alliance.
And the other 2 are Nazis.
And the other 2 are the Japanese and the Russians? No, the Germans, right?
Listen, man,
they're essentially the Axis.
Yeah, they're not really Japan and Germany, but like they're Japan and Germany.
They're like the nation of Sakura or whatever. Like, but it's obviously Japan, right? And their shit is super Japanese. Anyways,
so you got the Allies and the Axis.
Allies and Axis. So both the Allies and Axis are both fighting against the spacey people, the evil aliens. Like, but they're also fighting against each other because the way the Allies and the Axis view the way that they're fighting is, the Allies only want to use technology that they make. So these girls and they're, I don't know if they're humans, but
it's the best-selling Switch game.
These battleship girls or whatever
in Japan
have been created to fight this. The Axis essentially does the same thing, but they're also taking technology from the aliens to fight them.
These are girls in bikinis.
So anyways, I didn't like the show.
There are explosions.
It's very clear that it is like based off of...
There are girls in bikinis.
It's very clear that it's based off a game because there's so many different characters and designs are really intricate. So like, if you play this game, you probably see your favorite character in the show, and they all have
a bikini.
They all have very well... I don't know how to describe it. Like, even though some of them... Even though some of them aren't like... Don't have like lines or like they talk...
Girls...
You can tell that they have like personality. Bikinis. And I don't know. I mean, if you like that kind of show, go for it. I'm just not feeling it at all.
Explosions. After School Dice Club, made by Leiden Films. It's based off of a manga. Now, this show is boring, but I give them so much credit for doing a great job at simply explaining a game and showing the complexities of it. So, dumbass fucking garbage girl. That's what I'm going to call our main character, because I think she is. She winds up meeting with girl who's not good at friendship. And...
Wait, hold on. Is dumbass garbage girl our main character?
I think she's supposed to be the main.
I think girl
is bad friendship.
I think
main
girl
character?
who's not good at friendship is main character.
All right. So girl who's bad at friendship meets up with garbage girl.
There we go.
Garbage girl runs into her on the street and she's like, "Whoops, got to take off my panties because I fell in the water. No, you know how it is.
She's wet.
You know how it is with the water in the panties. Come on, girl. I love
how she's like, thank God I had spare change of clothes. Too bad I don't got spare panties. Oh well.
And you're like, all right, girl that I just met for the first time, you fucking psychopath.
And she goes, hey, we're in the same class, blah, 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 whatever.
Long story short, they go and they pop into this little like game shop. I don't know why exactly.
So they
have a friend that works there, but they don't know she works there.
They see the class rep, and she's going into one of these shops after curfew, which is like 6 o'clock. And, and like, she broke curfew, let's go see why. And it turns out she works at a game shop. They get, I don't know, they end up playing a board game.
Yeah, they show up and then the guy's like, hey, you want to check out one of these bad games? I got some kick-ass games here.
They play a board game, in this game that sell rugs in I don't know, fucking Morocco, and they have to make money.
So these are all based off of real games.
They're all analog games, by the way. They made that very clear. They're analog games.
Yeah, these are all board games. You could see in the background, you're like, oh man, Ticket to Ride. Look at that over there. And they have like real ass games in here. So this is a real game that you could get. It's essentially an advertisement for these board games, is what I understand. But based off of the first episode, I do want to watch more. Okay. Just because I'm interested in seeing what board games there are, because I don't like any of the characters. The animation is kind of lackluster. Yeah. It's all like whatever.
I think the story is really boring, but seeing games,
there's a little bit of humor.
It made me want to play a board game. That's all I really made me want to do. Because like there's a bit where like, they become better friends, and the helpless girl that's not good at friends bursts into tears and needs the fucking student council rep or whatever, the class president, to help her. And it's like, bitch, it's a fucking board game. It's a board game. If you lose, it's not the end of the world, right?
To you.
So they become best friends, and they're going to play games together. And they're going to add a fourth girl eventually. We see in like the
intro.
Yeah.
All right. So not going to watch it for you, but I might keep checking it out just because I like board games.
If there's any good board games, let me know.
Yeah. That's all I'm watching it for.
If they start playing a game that we've played before, you let me know. Like, dude, they're fucking playing Secret Hitler. Like, oh, no way.
Well, because like there are a bunch of YouTube channels of people playing board games and whatnot. Yeah. And there are people that I like that do these things, but I don't always like the shows that they're on while they're playing board games. So anyways, I'm talking mostly about Polygon. I'm not a big fan of their board game YouTube series, but they have Brian David Gilbert on there sometimes, and I like him a lot. It's just not great. So we'll see if I can put up with the anime. I like anime a lot, so it might win out. Who knows? Anyways, next up, we're going to talk about Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious, made by White Fox. It's based off of a light novel. Now, this show got old fast. Yeah. It looks really good. Nothing wrong with the way it looks. Characters have a lot of personality. The problem is the entire show is based off of one joke.
Yeah, the joke is this girl is a goddess, and her job is to bring people from the human world into a different world to save it. Essentially, she's the middleman of isekais,
Yeah.
And so
she's making it all happen.
So she's got an S rank mission, which is like a very super tough, world that needs to be saved. She ends up finding this guy who's really overqualified to be a hero. And she's like, great. And he happens to be Japanese, which is awesome.
And he's hot.
Yeah. And he's fucking scrumptious snack. So she's just like, cool, I'll pick this guy. He'll have no problem with it. Also, Japanese people just love isekai, so they'll have no issue like just being down to do it.
I really did like that they were making fun of isekais.
That was pretty funny, because everyone's like, cool, because I'm sitting there being like, I'm so sick of isekais. At least you're acknowledging the fact that,
Yeah. Like, yeah, they eat this shit up, even though it's totally overdone, and like, honestly, fuck this shit.
Yeah, even though it doesn't need to make sense. So then he comes in, and it turns out, he's super strong, super powerful, super hot. but he's like the world's biggest fucking warrior. Where everything has like, why are you giving me this food? It's tainted. I can't do this because I don't know that. So
but he's also way like his personality doesn't match the personality of somebody that would worry about everything. He's just like a cool guy about it.
Yeah. So he's like, he spends like, I don't know, several months just doing push-ups and sit-ups to get ready. He levels up like 15 levels just doing that.
Yeah.
He finally goes to the world where he's supposed to, and she's there helping him or whatever, and everything is, he wants to buy 3 suits of armor, which is stupid. Why would you buy 3 suits of armor? He's like, just in case I need a backup for my backup. And it's just like, yeah, this show is just, the joke's just not funny. The joke is him saying something absurd and her going, why would you do that? And he goes, because I'm super cautious. It's not good.
Yeah, and then they just drive certain things into the ground. Like they go out into the field and they're fighting a slime, and he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna fight this slime. She says, it's the easiest thing, just go for it.
Like kids could kill it with a stick.
Yeah. And then he goes ahead and uses his most powerful attack on it. And she's like, wow, that was pretty overkill. And then he does it again. And then she's like, okay, seriously, like you should stop. And he's like, well, you have to make sure.
He does
one
more,
it again.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, like once I got it. 2, it could have been like,
that's kind of funny.
He's, and then 3 is just like overkill for me.
Yeah.
It's overkill on the overkill. So definitely not for me, but that's fine because the next show is 100% for me. And it's not my favorite show of the season, but man, it's up there. Kimono Michi Rise Up, made by the studio Inji. It's based off of a manga. How do you feel? You don't remember this?
You got to give me a little hint because I just don't. I didn't take any notes.
Based on the name, it just doesn't
Rise Up.
It doesn't really get it. Okay, so kimono means animal. It's about a wrestling pervert who loves animals.
This is
so essentially, this dude, he's the masked wrestler.
I remember this one.
He's an animal lover. So he's got this little fucking cute ass dog thing, and he's in a big wrestling match, and he's taking down this guy, and then he gets isekai. So he goes into another world, and there's a princess chick, and they summon there, and essentially they're saying, you have to kill these beasts for us. You're the hero that's going to save us all.
They
and
also called them animals or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, beasts is in like animals, and she's like, yeah, sure. So he's like, all right, these people are evil. Who fucking hurts animals? So he suplexes the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
And then he continues to go into town and he sees some animal folk. Everyone thinks he's a pervert because he's still in his wrestling gear, which
it's just like a underwear and like a fucking choker.
Yeah, which he wears when he's battling, So that's his battle gear. And then he runs into a wolf man and a dog girl.
Yeah.
All right. And he is overwhelmed because he's never seen people like this before. So he subdues both of them by, scratching them nice and good. Mostly the wolf man. The chick is too freaked out. And then he sees a wolf girl. He's like, I've never seen a wolf girl before. So he gets obsessed with her. And she's kind of a dumbass, but like a goofy, fun one that's going to be a part of the party. And his whole goal in this world now is I want to get money and I want to open a pet store and I want people to realize how good animals are. So he just goes off and he starts doing these quests to capture animals or slay them rather. But he just brings them out. He's like, yeah, this is my little friend. This is this guy. This is his name. And he gets a little shack and he starts collecting animals and creatures. And I'm really liking it.
He fights these like 2-headed dogs, like a pack.
He fights Cerberus.
Like, yeah, a pack of them,
3-headed, yeah.
And I was like, cool. He wrestle moves them, he beats the shit out of them, and at one point, like he's smelling that dog's ass, like the way he was holding it, like and I was like, he's not saying the dialogue isn't saying smell, but then at one point, like, his nose wiggles, like you're smelling that dog's ass.
Yeah, he's for sure smelling that ass.
I didn't love this show.
You love wrestlers?
I know, which is because like what's funny is like
you are wild.
Me and Sarah were talking about it. I'm like, I mean, why did Trip think I'd like like. I do like wrestlers a lot. And he is a masked wrestler, which is like my favorite version of wrestlers. And I was like, I'm just not feeling it. Like I didn't laugh. I wasn't like,
it wasn't for you. I had such a good time.
I think, you know what? One thing I can't say is like, I kind of like the way it looks. It's kind of simple looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and it makes sense. Like all he's ever wanted to do is fucking own a pet shop. He gets sent to different worlds. Like, I'm going to fucking own this pet shop because that's what I'm going to do. I was like, cool, good for you.
So they have my favorite recurring joke in any show that I've seen recently, which puts it up there. Second episode, there's like a group of adventurers that come and are like, hey man, like we're adventurers or whatever. Let's go kill those dogs. And then he punches one of them and the sword drops. So then the wolf girl's like, oh, somebody forgot their sword. All right, I'll just take it. Like, oh, cool, I found a sword. And then that happens in the next episode. He comes back with like an even bigger sword, and the wrestler takes him down really quick. He drops the sword, and like less than 5 seconds later, the wolf girl is immediately like, "Oh, somebody left a sword!" and like gets it and runs off really quick.
Yeah,
and I just like that she's just
funny.
A fucking monster. That's like, yeah, loot.
And she thinks she
leaves.
It's also very reminiscent of like, I'm a dog. I got to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. It felt right, and I really get a kick out of that joke.
Cool. I don't know, man.
Hey, it's not for you.
Not for me.
That's fine.
Not for me.
I fucking love it. Next show I think is Case File N221. Kabukicho. Production IG. It's an original. This is Sherlock and Holmes.
Anime.
Her Sherlock Holmes. Why Sherlock and Holmes? Yeah. It's Sherlock Holmes.
It's Sherlock-san and Holmes-san.
Yeah. No, it's Sherlock Holmes, but this dude is doing kabuki theater, who is Sherlock, and that's kind of the whole gist there. And then Holmes is, not an actual character, so don't worry what I said earlier.
It's Sherlock Holmes, but like, so it's Sherlock and Watson, essentially.
Yeah, more or less.
I kind of like this show. I'll probably keep watching it just because I like Sherlock Holmes. And
I felt like maybe I want to watch it, and then I decided, nah.
When they started doing the kabuki theater or whatever, I was just like, oh, okay, this is a thing. This is a culture. I'm just sitting there like, this is a culture thing. Like, this makes sense. I get what they're doing. And I go, okay, he's just, and in most literature and in most media, Sherlock Holmes is always represented as a very eccentric human being, right? And I'm like, cool. I'm glad anime took that and they're like, cool, he's still this really big weirdo. Like he mixed ramen and peaches. It's like, oh, he's just a sicko or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like was I feel like it was very, I don't know, like maybe lazy, where like the first case he's working on is like, fucking, the Jack the Ripper thing, and I'm just like, really? You could have done anything. Why I got to start with this one?
I felt like they were trying to do something that was unique and its own thing, and they kind of got lost.
Yeah.
Where it didn't have enough, I guess, focus behind it for me to really care about it. It felt a little bit like jumbled, and they were like, but we're going to fit in this kabuki theater thing, and it's going to be fucking great. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, cool. I like what they did there. And that's what intrigued me and made me think, oh man, I want to see more of this. But honestly, I think that there are better iterations of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, yes. No, there's for sure.
So I like the Sherlock games. I like the BBC series.
Yeah, I like the BBC series too.
I like that shit.
I was even a fan of the fucking Robert Downey Jr. fucking...
Sure.
Like I like Sherlock Holmes. I think I'm going to keep watching this. It's not perfect by any means. And the kabuki thing, I feel like that's how it's going to be every week. That's how he's going to reveal who he thinks the killer is. It's going to be interesting because I've never dealt with kabuki before. Like, it's interesting if I'm going to get sick of it or not. But this one I kind of enjoyed, so I'm going to keep watching it. At least try to.
See.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, we're talking about Stars Align, which is made by the studio 8-Bit, and it's an original anime. This show might actually be my show of the season.
I think so, too.
It starts out, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like these character designs. I like the animation.
I like the way it looks.
And then immediately I'm like, every character has personality and they haven't even talked? How is that possible? Yeah. How did they do that? How did they accomplish so much with so little?
Yeah.
And then they just kept it going, and it's a story I'm interested in.
It felt kind of like a at first like, oh, it's just going to be a sports show, right? Like, because it's about what, softball,
soft tennis,
which is like,
it's a Japanese exclusive tennis sport. Yeah. So
it's just like, I mean, I'm assuming,
I don't know. I don't know enough about it yet.
If I had to guess, they use a different ball, and I think maybe the court's a little bit smaller. Like that
might also use a bigger racket or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's pickleball. It's Japanese pickleball.
There you go.
Anyways, at first I was like, cool, it's just going to be a sports anime, and I'm not someone to oppose sports animes. Like, I like sports animes at different levels. Like, there's a super hype ones like fucking Kuroko, and there's like super realistic ones like, Haikyuu, and there's like super absurd ones like fucking the butts one. What was that one called? Keijo. But like they're all technically sports, right? So it's like, cool, I wonder where this one falls. And at first it felt like, I was like, oh cool, it's just a pretty straightforward sports anime. I'm liking this. I'm liking all the characters. That, I don't need to know much about them. They say a little bit. They still don't say anything. I'm digging this.
And then they hit you with that drama,
and
dog.
The very fucking end.
Dude, because there were little hints before the end.
Oh, yeah, there was, absolutely, yeah.
You're like, okay, so this mom and this son are together moving to a new town for some reason or another. And then, okay, so this guy, his older brother like really likes him, and he looks up to his older brother, and that's cool. The mom is afraid of the kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then the end of the episode happens, and I'm like, I think I figured out the relationship between the two kids and why there's a little bit of
there's
weird
this tension. Yeah,
tension.
they're like, hey, your friend, your fucking childhood friend is back in, school. He transferred back to your school, and you go, yeah, cool. You don't go like, oh, it's my fucking boy. You know, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it felt a little bit weird. And I think I figured out why, but I need to watch more to find out. I don't want to spoil what happens at the end, but watch after the credits because this show is really good.
I feel like people would really miss it too, because the only reason I didn't, stop play the next episode was because like I looked down at my phone and it said
still like 6 minutes.
There's like 6 minutes left. I go, what the fuck? So I scrolled, through the, like, oh, the ending was fucking brutal.
Yeah. Really, really good show.
Yeah, for sure. I think it looks great. I think the characters are amazing. And
did you watch the second episode?
I haven't checked out yet. No. Spoilers.
Best intro of the season.
Yeah, because we didn't get an intro, did we?
Yeah, we didn't get an intro.
Yeah.
Best intro of the season. It's all of our characters doing goofy dances.
Oh, I love those.
But like in real settings and in fake settings and stuff. Dude, it's fucking good. They're wiggling around. Some of them are good at dancing. Other ones aren't good, but they're like kind of doing it. Other ones are playing around on their phone.
I don't like spoilers, Trip.
All right, then we'll just get to the next episode, the next show then, which is No Guns Life, made by Madhouse.
Oh, you didn't watch that last one, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
no, I said it's probably the show of the season, like legit.
I'll watch it too. Hopefully it doesn't get bad.
It's hard to tell because it's an original. So I just hope it wraps up, honestly.
Pull a Darling in the Franxx. They go to space.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Again. So No Guns Life is based off of a manga. Now, I started this and I was like, I fucking think I hate this. And then a couple minutes went by and I was like, maybe I don't. And then a little bit more went by and I'm like, okay, I need to see more of this show to find out if I hate this or not.
I dig this show.
How many episodes did you watch?
I just watched the one.
I watched 2.
Yeah.
First episode, I dug it. Second episode, I did not. I encourage you to watch more.
From what I saw, I dug it. Essentially, it's this world.
It's very noir. Yeah, it's this cyberpunk.
It's this world where like there's people who have some crazy human body augmentations, whatever. Our main character literally has a gun, like a giant revolver for a face.
Is his name Resolver?
I think something like that. Yeah,
I think it's Resolver.
Yeah, but he has a revolver, like a gun on his face, and he's this PI or detective, right? And people hire him to do stuff.
This feels 90s.
It does. Yeah,
I'm watching it. It feels like old school anime.
Yeah, and they keep talking about like stuff like why there are people like this and yada yada yada. Essentially,
but the noir jazz is going on the whole time, and you're feeling it.
They do a good job of being like, yeah, there's people who have these augmentations. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Apparently there was a big war before this, and there's people who just changed their body because of the war, and some people are left over like that.
Yep.
And we see, this main character get stuck into, because I've only seen the first episode. I don't know if it's going to be an overarching theme or if it's going to be case by case, but he's stuck in this like.
This is an ongoing.
Okay, cool. So he's stuck in this case where, a boy is being like kidnapped by some sort of like nun. And it turns out this nun isn't actually a nun. She's like an assassin for this fucking underground fucking evil organization.
Yeah.
And he gets shot up and he's, I don't know. He's just trying to be a detective and be a good guy. I liked it. I really also liked it. It gave me vibes of like 90s anime. And it also had like, nice moments of like, hey, don't forget this is also an anime. Like there's times where he gets drawn very simply, like when he gets like shocked or whatever.
Kind of felt Ghost in the Shelley as well.
I liked it.
But like gritty.
I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm not saying it's like amazing because like
check out the second episode. Let me know what you think. I felt like the show had a lot of potential and then they kind of dropped the ball on me. I don't know what it was about it, but something about the drive behind the characters and what was going on just felt off.
There was a lot of hype for this show though, because like people, people really like the manga, dog. It's like it's pretty popular. I'll tell you this: I'll give the second episode a shot, and if it's not good, I'll come back next week and I'll maybe drop it.
Yeah, I was bummed. I wanted to see more. I wanted to like more. It's not for me. Maybe it is a show for other people, but it gripped me at first and then it lost me. All right, next up is Stand My Hero's Piece of Truth. It's by MSC and is based off of a game.
Can I take this one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so because I remember I was looking over my notes and trying to figure out what show this was because it was so forgettable, right? So this show is about the Japanese government starting a new sort of like organization, like new branch of the police force that's special, right? This is that one. And they're trying to figure out who they're going to make in charge of it. And they're like, we should make this girl in charge of it. And they're like, hey, isn't that girl, wasn't she just like suspended for not doing what she's supposed to? She's like, yeah, but she's the right person for the job. If we fast forward a little bit, they give her the promotion. The girl is like surrounded by a bunch of fucking sexy fuck boys, you know?
Boys.
Bunch of hot boys that are like, you know, they all do different stuff. Like, I'm in forensics. I'm in fucking drug they're all some sort of enforcement agency that they work for, right? And the thing is, her job is to recruit people for this new thing. It's called Stand, right? This new organization. And the thing that I can't get or understand is like, I don't understand what the organization is supposed to do because it's not very clear.
No.
They're supposed to stop something from happening. I don't know if it's like drugs. I don't know if it's crime. It's something. In this episode, she ends up recruiting one person who was in his mind always going to join the thing, you know? And it's essentially like a harem with like all these guys that dig this one chick.
It's like a visual novel where you play the chick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fucking horrible, man. It's really bad.
It really just did not. I don't know, man. It was weird. The important thing about our main character is she's immune to drugs.
Drugs, that's the thing, right?
So she gets chloroformed, and I was like, oh, cool. Are they going to do it like, because I forgot about this point because they just say it offhandedly. I was like, are they going to do it like they do in real life where chloroform takes a while for you to like pass out? You don't just put it over. Yeah. Because it's instant and like everything else. So I was like, oh man, are they doing the real life thing where she's going to oh no, she passed out. Oh, she was faking that's right, the drugs thing. Stupid fucking.
This show, I don't think it's for me. I don't know.
Nah.
Sierra said she might watch it because she says like this would have been the show that she would have watched like if she was like 11 or 12 kind of show. Like one girl around a bunch of boys and they're all pretty and they all kind of want her attention and
yeah, Fruits Basket.
Yeah, like Fruits Baskets. But you know, she might still end up watching it. She every now and then she just ends up watching a trash show because she wants to. I think the show sucks.
Sierra eats that stuff up. Anyways, Phantasy Star Online 2 episode Oracle, made by the studio Gonzo. It's based off of a game. You know, this show, like, it had parts that could have been cool, but I just didn't care about it enough, I think. It looks gorgeous. If you know Phantasy Star Online 2, then you have an idea of what this is, I guess. Mostly you're just these trained soldiers and you go to these planets and then you fight bugs and aliens and shit and you're with your homies and then there are a bunch of anime girls and guys and bunnies or whatever the fuck and you hang out with all of it.
It's the one where our main characters, his name's Ash and they keep being called partner or something like that, right? That's that one.
Something like that. I don't know.
Like some girl falls from the sky and he picks her up and she's like, kill me.
Yeah. That was the very end.
Yeah, this show, I don't know.
It started out, you get the whole crew. There's one guy who's talking to our main character mostly. And then the main character has some kind of a past. He can't remember. He's trying to figure it out. And then they go to this planet and they're like, hey, cool, we took care of the threat. Good job, everyone. Let's go home. We did it. Yeah. And then it's like, uh-oh, there's an interference. We got to take care of this interference. And then they go and they take care of the interference. And it's like a bunch of fucking monsters that kill them all instantly, except for our main character and his friend that he's been talking to, I think. Maybe the friend dies. I don't know.
No, the friend makes it. One thing I did like in the show was like some of their armors were kind of cool looking. Like the guy that was,
yeah, because it's MMO shit.
Yeah, the guy that was leading the squad had this. He almost looked like he was like in this sort of like he had this exosuit and it looked like it was like a grenade kind of shape. You know,
they had some cool shit.
There's one chick that had
I couldn't figure out if I wanted to watch this.
There's one chick that had like a dope sombrero kind of thing going on. They all died, right?
Of course.
The characters, one chick was like had punchy gauntlets. She's dead.
She was cool.
The biggest, I liked her a lot. I think the biggest drawback, and it's kind of dumb. The reason I'm not gonna like the show is because the main character's his weapon of choice is this stupid, huge fucking blade.
Yeah.
Not having it. Not doing this.
Well, that's what most people would play with if they were playing that game.
No, man. Punchies, gunsies, sombrero. One of those three. I don't know what the sombrero was. She died really quick.
Yeah. Anyways, it had things that I think people would like. So this isn't a complete write-off kind of show. But just check it out, see if it's for you. It wasn't for me. It got a little bit convoluted with the end, and I just don't care enough about the story, honestly. They couldn't grip me in. Next up, we're going to talk about Africa Salaryman. This show was made by... Sorry, I'm scrolling through my shit. Hot Zapang. It's based off of a web manga. People really like the show. I don't.
I thought it was interesting.
I loved a lot of the animation and the style. They fucking nailed that shit. Made it feel so fresh and unique, and like nobody had done shit like this before. It's a very sketch comedy type show. I just don't like the characters. And like, I don't like their situation, because I could get behind not liking characters. There are annoying characters that I like the things that happen around them and what they cause. Like all of Seinfeld, all of the characters are horrible people and annoying, but they get into goofy ass situations that I kind of like. Africa Salaryman has pervert toucan. He's
a pervert.
Yep.
And then you got like fucking cool guy. Kimono Dragon is what he is.
Yeah, essentially he's just like a lizard boy.
And you got the boss man lion, who's kind of a dud.
Yep.
So it's in this world.
So it focuses a lot on Toucan in the first episode, but
in this world it's it's like a human. It's Zootopia. It's like Zootopia.
Yeah, this is Zootopia,
but not like a good Zootopia, like Pets or whatever that we wanted to watch, right? No, what's the one? The one that we had?
Oh, Beastars.
Beastars. That's the one. That's a Zootopia we want to watch.
Yeah,
this is the Zootopia that we got.
Yeah.
So essentially, our main character is this lion, and he's the boss, and he works in an office, and he wears a suit, and his coworkers are a toucan and like I said, kimono dragon, and it just looks like a lizard, and they also wear suits, and they do some sort of business. We just don't know what the business is, and it's just like their lives. I think the most damning part of this is like it's a comedy, and they're supposed to be funny, and none of it really made me laugh. I like the way it looks a lot. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, it wasn't like a funny. I didn't think the writing was that strong.
It didn't do it for me, but they were for sure trying something that hadn't been done before, so I commend them for that. Next up is Actors Songs. It's made by the Studio Drive. It's based off of music. Now this one we talked about a little bit before we started recording. This had been promoted at Anime Expo, one of the panels we went to. Essentially, it's like Vocaloid artists are getting together and they're trying to make shit work in their after school programs. And it's just I mean, hey man, the characters have neat designs. They're quirky, it's goofy, it's fun, and it's all about the music. So yeah, it's kind of just, if you like the characters, you might like this, but I didn't really care for the characters.
I mean, if it's about the music, I liked the song that he sang.
The song he sang was good.
I felt like it was very out of place where he sang it.
Well, sometimes you gotta let it out, dog.
I felt like it was very like High School Musical, like fucking Troy Bolton's in the middle of the fucking golf course. He's like, I gotta sing "Bet on It, dog," or whatever.
Here's the thing, man. I've had lots of friends that are really into music and musical theater and shit. Sometimes you just sing while you're hanging out downtown.
God, I hate those kids.
Yeah, so right, that's the fucking thing, right? So that's what this guy's doing. Yeah, except he's not the personality that would do that.
No, because he's like super sad.
He was like sick? Shy and stuff, and
sick,
something
right?
like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the one thing that really like I was like, I don't know, because like I can't like the designs are interesting. There's one character that has like the pink hair, kind of weird haircut, mullet.
I do like that you like this kid.
No, I don't like this kid.
I love that you like him.
And he has the long sleeves that cover his arms or whatever.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, I think, and it wasn't supposed to be funny, was the fact that this character that's saying the song is now, it's like, hey man, you got to join the crew. We need you. You're the music. You have an amazing voice, right?
Yeah.
And they introduce him to this other guy, and he goes, hey, what's up? And he goes like, yeah, he's the one that wrote that song. He wrote those lyrics. And then it was like, you wrote those lyrics?
Yeah.
How? Like I was like,
sometimes what your heart says is different than what your floppy old
with your stupid outer appearances. This show's not for me. Check it out though if you like.
It was fine. Honestly, this is like one of the best. Sorry that I'm offending everyone here that loves this genre. This is the best cute boys sing show that I've seen, because I feel like each character had a very unique personality. Most of the cute boys sing, I think it has a lot to do with looks before it gets into the characters and their development behind it. And then when you hear the character stories and those other things, that's where you kind of form who you like or who you don't like.
Yeah.
But this, I feel like it really just off the bat shows you, oh, these characters all have very different looks and styles, and they do different things, and they kind of act different ways, but they're all into the same stuff. Anyways.
I feel like I've seen cute boys sing shows before, and I agree, because like if I had to pick, I would watch this one over all the other ones I've seen before, just because the other ones I've seen before are very like fucking it's very idol focused, and I go,
It's so hard to remember who everyone is when they're like, hey,
there's 7 of us,
Yeah,
and
there are 15 guys,
and we're all super sexy, and the only
3 of us have pink hair and buns.
Yeah, and it goes like, I'm the moody one, and I'm the moody one when I don't eat, and I'm the sleepy one. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This one is based more in reality, which is like, okay, cool, I could probably check this one out.
Exactly.
If I had to.
Next up is Special 7, Special Crime Investigation Unit, made by Animal & Co. It's an original show, and this fucking show, it looked pretty okay.
It started off really intense, and then it just went somewhere where like, oh, okay.
It's got elves and vampires and shit.
It's, you know what it is? It's a not as good version of Blood Blockade Battlefront is what it is.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was.
I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just a crime unit, and they're trying to figure out these crimes while figuring out who done it.
Who the main character is. But by the way, our main character has some sort of power. We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
He got shot point blank and didn't have a fucking scratch on him. Fuck him. He's magic. We don't know why yet.
This show really didn't.
It wasn't good.
It looked all right, though.
If you want to... hey, guys.
This was the most forgettable of the Funimation shows to me.
Check out this show, and if you think, hey, this would be kind of cool, then check out Blood Like Hate Battlefront. You'll probably like that better than this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's made by Studio Bones. So.
Which is good, right? But like, this isn't.
Yeah. Hey, I'm done talking about Funimation. Let's move on to High Dive.
Okay.
So, Outburst Dreamer Boys, made by Studio Dean. It's based off of a novel. This is about some... Fucking what is this even about?
This one's about boys in school.
Yes, a lot of them. There's a new girl in school.
There's a new girl in school who, for some reason, have this ill-conceived notion that they're also kind of like Sentai warriors or Power Rangers.
That's what this is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It just took me a second. I'm like, okay, I remember Outbursts, but they all were a little bit zany. I couldn't remember why.
He's like, you're pink and you're red and I'm purple and you're
like,
blue.
It's perfect. It's part of the prophecy where we're all like these Power Rangers and you're the pink Power Ranger because you're the girl, so come with us.
And you've got pink eye or something or whatever.
Oh, yeah, she had an eye patch. Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's so fucking cool. She's like, but I just literally have pink eye. She gets wrapped into all this bullshit.
I don't know.
It's just a bunch of weirdos.
I don't know if I watched this at a really like late time because I don't remember it being all that bad, but I also don't remember it being all that good.
Yeah, it was really in the middle.
So I kind of want to watch some more of it to see if it's worth it, but
it's not for me. But yeah, go for it.
But I was like, I don't know, because I maybe I enjoyed it, maybe I didn't. But yeah, that's what it boils down to. Fucking, I think they're middle school kids or high school kids that think they're Power Rangers or some shit like that.
Yeah, man. Not a lot to say about it. This was not High Dive's golden show.
This is no fucking Maidens in Your Seventh Season.
No, it's not. But ZX Code Reunion, made by Passion. It's based off of a card game.
This
My
one
bad.
Sucks.
So this one I think is High Dive's show.
No, it's not.
So these fucking science space school anime things that happen every once in a while, which is a very uncommon thing, but it exists. Fucking trust me.
It's the second one of the season, I feel like, where it's like a school of... There's actually plenty of schools this season, right? Like,
yeah, but this one's like a science space school like weird thing.
But there's also like...
They also play a card game.
They also have like these people, essentially like Pokemons that they have, like, and one girl's Pokemon refuses to be in a card.
Yeah. So
we're doing a horrible job of this.
No, you just explained the show perfectly.
So essentially, these girls are going to this school, and all these girls have the ability to use these cards, and inside the cards are like these. I think they're called RXs or whatever, XCs or whatever.
You know what? If you play the game, you know
ZXs. Yeah, and they use them to battle or something like that. There's a scene where they get picked up in a Humvee, right? And like the two girls that are going to the school get put in the Humvee, and the person that's driving it looks like a toddler or whatever. And let's go. This dumb bitch, this fucking her Pokemon, instead of climbing in the Humvee in the front seat, just holds onto the back of it. And
what would you do?
Climb in the fucking front seat. And then this Humvee starts like going like over a river, through a valley, and then off a cliff,
off-roading like crazy.
And I'm like, it goes off a cliff, and they're in the air, like there's like,
dude, and it was blowing me away.
And then they hit the ground, and I'm like, in my head, like they're dead. I don't fucking care, dude. That would kill anybody right then and there on the spot. This show sucked ass.
It was so bad. Yeah, just don't watch it.
This might be one of the worst shows.
This is. It feels like it's really meant for you to get into the card game. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh. But
oh man, this next one.
All right, so next is Val Love, made by Hoods Entertainment. It's based off of a manga. All right, so this fucking guy, he's an important guy because he can save like the world from all these monsters and demons and shit by having sex with Valkyries.
Yeah.
Which are these really powerful women, and then when he has sex with them, they get empowered.
Yeah.
And then they kill the demons.
Yeah.
So he needs to have sex with each of the Valkyries in each episode.
He needs to find out which one he wants to have sex with the most, whether it be the old, maybe in her 30s, or the one that's like 9 years old.
This dude also looks scary as fuck.
Yeah, the big joke is that he what they keep calling him Akuma, whatever.
Yeah,
which
they're
is a demon.
calling him demon.
So there are demon attacks going on,
Like
and
devil.
He has he's got sharp teeth, a very big scar on his face, and he's massive. And so people just kind of avoid him. He at a young age he learned that he has an off-putting look about him, and his aura just is off. So people just don't fuck with him. So he's like, fine, I won't fuck with people, and all he does is want to study and get into good college to make his mom happy because his mom's dead. Fucking big surprise. He tries to save somebody, and then legitimately Odin says, hey man, you're the best. I'm gonna send my 12 daughters, which are 12 Valkyries, and he goes, you pick one, you fuck them all, they're super powerful, gonna kill demons. This show took a huge turn because at first I thought it was just it's fucking big fucking scary monster guy lives with a bunch of hot chicks and ends up fucking some of them, right? But no, it's also this giant battle thing. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is the best show ever.
I don't know, man. It's just the best. I don't know.
It's not for me. I wouldn't watch it.
It's really terrible. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about Kandagawa Jet Girls, made by TNK. It's based off of something. That's what I found. It's just other.
Not even original. It's just something.
No, it's something, all right.
It's based off some guy's wet dream.
Let me tell you, if you like boobs, this is the show for you.
This show has the bops of the season.
If you like asses,
it's very bop centric. Okay,
it is. Now, when we're saying that, you could assume what you want about this show, but what this show actually is a piece of fucking art. Okay, so there's a sport out there, which is you have to be on a jet ski with another person
on the back who has a gun.
But you have a gun, but it's like a laser gun, and the lasers explode off the clothes that you have to wear. So what do you think that this is all about? You think it's about whoever gets the other one to not have any clothes wins? No, it's not. It's just for some reason you race, but you could also shoot at each other and break your clothes.
You see, that's the thing. I only watched the one episode, right?
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Totally, yeah, me too.
So I watched the one episode, and it seems very it kind of reminds me of what's that one, Keijo, right? Where it's it's kind of it's a pretend sport, and it's all about women that are hot playing this sport. And it's cool. Our main character, who was this little girl, is now I don't know, a teenager or something like that. In her late teens, she's going to a special school for this. Her bops are massive, so she has to lay them on this fucking jet ski. Her tits have to end up on this jet ski because this is what the show's about.
Yeah.
And then we see her fucking this brooding character who's I want to shoot the gun, but I have to do it in an actual race. Simulation's not doing it for me. So they become friends. They suit up in these ridiculous outfits. Her tits don't fit. It's of course your tits don't fit. At this whole time, I still don't know what the actual sport is because I'm waiting for them to they're racing, right? And I go, cool. Are there targets that are going to pop up? They're going to shoot the targets, whatever. And then this racer that's the racer that's behind, so our main characters are winning, right? The racer's behind, aims and shoots the girl with the gun right in the puss, right? With the laser beam. I told Sierra this when we were at dinner. It's she shoots her right in the vagina. And she's like, what? It's I'm sorry, with the laser beam. It wasn't an actual bullet.
Yeah.
And and nothing really happens except we get a little moan. Gets shot again, and this time her shorts pop off. And then it just says, to be continued. And I go, what's the sport? Is it first team to get naked? Because then at that point, why would you want to be in first place? If you're trying to get the clothes off the other person, just be in the back and shoot. I am so confused as to what this is, and I could not be fucking bothered to check out any more of this.
I mean, hey man, the boobs look pretty good.
The boobs look pretty good.
Top-notch boobs.
Yeah. And what's crazy is so many times that when a character was introduced, did it start off with just a shot of their fucking tits, like
Nothing
their
wrong with
chest,
that.
and then it goes up to their face. It's
Absolutely
just like,
nothing wrong with
even
that.
if they didn't have tits, it was like, yep, this is where her chest should be, up to her face. I was like, dude, this show's bad.
Badass, yeah, for sure.
This show might be the worst show season, but
No, I think it's very honest in what it is. It's trying to give you a fun time while just showing off a bunch of boobs.
Then it's Val and Sex, fucking Valkyrie sex show. That has to be the worst of the season.
You think that one might be?
I mean, no, because it's also drawn very well. Fuck this. This is a bad season of anime. I'm just calling it.
Okay.
We haven't even talked about the last fucking few.
Okay, so then there's also Chidori RSC, which is made by Studio 3 Hertz. It's also called Love is Rifle.
Yeah, thank God. I was trying to remember what this one was.
It's based off of 4-koma manga, and let me tell you, I want to see another episode just to see what's going on.
Do you really?
Just to see what's going on. I don't expect to like it, but there's a chance we're gonna get some fucking hype action sequences too, only because it's made by Studio 3 Hertz, who has some amazing, like they did some of the best action sequences in
Flip Flappers.
No,
Princess Principal.
No.
That's the only two shows they've ever done.
Gun Gale Online. Sword Art Online Alternative. Yes, they did that one. Yeah. And they had some fucking hype ass gun action sequences in that.
It's not going to happen.
All I'm saying is that they're capable of it. So they're making these cute girls shoot some like laser rifles. So it's the same thing as the last show.
They're shooting panties off, dog.
They're just shooting targets. And
this is actually a sport, though, right? Like
I don't know.
I think I've actually seen this before. Yeah, it's indoor. It's like indoor shooting, but like they don't actually shoot bullets.
They shoot lasers.
They shoot lasers, and yeah,
they still have to reload.
Dude, we'll have to charge the batteries. It's a very paint by numbers kind of like a beginning. Like girls,
beginning was nothing.
Yeah, girls want to join a club. Club got disbanded. They need enough members. They very quickly get the 4 members that they need. They start the club. They're friends, and then there's I don't know why it happens in fucking anime, but it's always just like, hey man, you got big tits for being a
that's what
person.
They do.
And they go, yeah, my tits are pretty big. And then she goes, and then there's that character in the back that doesn't have big tits, and she goes like, ooh, I don't got big tits. I feel kind of bad about myself. And then they go, oh, I need to get a new fucking jacket because my tits are so big. I'm like, God fucking damn it, why? Why is it this has to happen?
It's really relatable as somebody who has an enormous penis. I can't wear most pants.
Well, yeah, just letting it hang out right now.
Yeah.
Get it off the ground so you get all dusty.
No, thank you. I like the dust. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that I just don't understand in anime.
Why is it always headed? I don't believe it's true. I think maybe Japanese men want it to be true, but they like to believe that Japanese high school girls just love grabbing each other's tits and being like, man, your boobs are big. Because that doesn't happen. That can't happen. I do grab your dick all the time and go, man, this is pretty big.
Yeah, and I'm like, senpai.
I should probably I'll let it go. Here it is.
So anyways, it looks okay. I mean, the animation is great. It's very typical Studio 3 Hertz.
They do the 3D thing when they're like posted up to shoot. I think it might be because like the animation's so simple. Like, why would you need to like hand draw them? So it's like maybe just do a 3D rig, right?
Yeah,
you noticed that, right? Like
I did.
Okay, the gun is 3D
really
modeled.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was learning some stuff. They have to wear these weird ass
suits.
Yeah,
they keep them really stiff.
Yeah, these stiff ass plastic suits that are all crunchy and squeaky.
Yeah.
And they can't move. And I learned that that's a thing. So I'm learning. I don't know. I'm going to check out more of this show, but I'm not expecting anything of it.
You let me know. You let me know how it is.
Yeah, I definitely will. We'll see. I mean, the fact that it's based off of a 4-koma manga, we probably won't get any crazy action sequences like that, but like, who knows? Because
it's not going to
go any direction. Anyways, that's it for High Dive. So there's no real winners on High Dive this season.
No, a bunch of stinkers.
But you know what? Just go ahead and subscribe and watch last season's anime because, whoo, baby.
Because High Dive is still
in your Savage season.
Is still the powerhouse of anime.
Absolutely. Amazon Prime. So really quickly, I'm still watching Vinland Saga. I'm sure that you are too. Yeah. It's made by Wit Studio, based off of a manga.
Do you like Vikings? Do you like Vikings killing each other? Watch the show.
Season 2 starts out pretty strong. I'm liking it. It's good. Good times. Blade of the Immortal. You didn't watch this, so I'll just try to cover it really quick. Made by the studio B Train. It's based off of a manga, and For a second, I couldn't fucking remember it other than I remember it was really gory and really edgy, and there's a guy who can't die, and essentially his whole thing is he surprises people by not being able to die, and then he kills them. So he
oh shit, you should have died. He's like, I should have. Boom, killed you.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets like his leg chopped off, and I'm like, ha, I fucking got you. Bleed out, you stupid son of a bitch. And then he gets up and he's like, well, now I'm going to kill you. He doesn't have a new leg. He's just hopping around on one leg, killing him.
Pretty dumb.
Right. And then he winds up like somehow getting his limbs back at some point. But it does a little time jump thing. It's following this girl whose dad was killed, and then they were going to do something. They were going to kill the mom. And then the leader of the people that were going to kill the mom, they're like, no, don't kill her. You could take her, do anything you want with her, but don't kill her. And then you could kill her.
Just don't kill her on our
don't
property.
touch the little girl.
Yeah. Can you kill her? Can you kill her on that side of the fence? Because on this side of the fence, we have to deal with it. But if it's on that side of the fence, it's
essentially
okay.
They're saying go rape her a whole bunch before you kill her, use her. So I'm like, okay, so this is super fucking dark and edgy, whatever. So the little girl gets a little bit older, like a little bit, finds this guy and is like, hey, I want you to help me kill the guy who killed, my family or whatever. So could you help? That would be really cool.
Help, please.
And then he's like, no. So how does he get convinced? She's essentially like moody and shit, and like convinces him by being like real as fuck. And he's like, yeah, I support real, recognize real, yo.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you and I always stand by. Yeah,
exactly. So then she has been, I don't know where the fuck he is. He's fucking off. He got killed like right away when the guy that was supposed to like be killed by him came into the picture. He killed the immortal guy. Girl goes off, is getting chased down by the killer of her parents, and she's essentially caught. Dude has his like fingers down her mouth because it's creepy and gross, like these shows kind of tend to be. And then he's saying like, yeah, man. So my whole thing with killing people. Well, I've got these giant shoulder pads. Let me just pop off what's covering them. Oh, yeah, that's right. I sewed your mom's head onto my shoulder as well as this other person's head.
Ugh.
So here's your mom there. And here's this other one. And maybe I could put your head on there too. She's like, I just want you to die. And he's like, well, how about this? How about you kill yourself and then I'll kill myself? Because like, I don't think there's anything more beautiful than dying with somebody like you. And then she's totally going to do it. And then immortal guy comes up and kills him. So that's your first episode. If you like dark, edgy shit, boom, there it is. It's Dororo, but way worse.
That's pretty bad, man.
Yeah. And then we're on to our last show, which is Babylon. It's also on Amazon Prime, and it is made, if it just lets me scroll, it's made by Reveru. It's based off of a novel. You fell asleep during this show.
Well, yeah. Well, but the thing is, you today told me you had to rewatch it because
I for sure had to rewatch this
because you watched it before and you.
It was like 12:30. I couldn't handle, and I fell aslepe because this show is a lot of dialogue, and it's interesting.
But it's
very
dialogue,
interesting.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, so you texted me, we were talking, and you said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I have to watch Babylon," which reminded me I had to watch Babylon. So I go to watch Babylon. I watched the beginning bits, I watched the middle bits, and then I fell asleep and I woke up for the end bits. And I go, huh.
You didn't watch the middle bits.
And some of the middle bits. I watched some of the middle bits. I missed what I missed was like 15 minutes of the show. Of a 23-minute show. But the thing is, like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, hey, Triv, what happened? You go, this happened. I remember that. Don't remember any of that. Okay, cool. Remember that.
So I don't want to spoil much about the show, but it's a really well done crime drama show. It feels like you were saying earlier. It feels in the same vein as the movie Seven.
Yeah.
It's just a dark crime show that's written pretty damn well.
It's also it feels really based in reality, which I really appreciate. There's no fantastical element.
After all of these fantasy type shows, this show looks gorgeous. Like the character design is great. Everything kind of lit up a bit when it first started. You're like, oh man, the lighting on these characters is good. There's a scene where the main character guy is putting things together and he's like, oh shit, so this is a political thing, so that means they're in that building, and then it does this crazy shot of him like turning to look at this building, and it looks fucking amazing. Long story short, they're trying to figure out what to do with this whole political scandal thing that involves somebody committing suicide possibly, and they're trying to get down to the bottom of that after doing a raid on this pharmaceutical company. There's a lot to it. I don't want to spoil much. I say it's definitely worth checking out if you like crime dramas. If you're not a big fan of crime dramas, this might not be for you. But this could be the point where you kind of get into crime dramas. I don't know. Yeah,
I was talking to you about this. This season has obviously has a bunch of isekais because like isekais are the fucking hot thing.
Go to, yeah, let's do it.
It also has a bunch of these crime-esque detective kind of shows, which is kind of
like
surprising.
The Sherlock Holmes one. It's got the Special 7.
The 7-unit one.
Assassin's Pride.
The Assassin's thing. There's the one about like the shitty Blood Blockade Battlefront rip-off that's done by Bones. 7. There's the other one. Okay, what's the one? The Stan or something like that.
That Stan, yeah.
And then there's, No Gun Life, right? Which is noir-esque. And then there's this one. It just felt really like maybe this was like, this is that niche thing that happens. This season's all about hard-boiled crimes. Out of all of them, the one that
this one for sure.
This is the one I really want to watch because it's very based in reality. It looks great. So I'm super stoked for that because like this season, like many seasons, have disappointed me when it comes to anime, right? Because there's just so much.
Anime just fucking like when I'm telling people at work, when I tell people at work, I'm like, yeah, I have an anime podcast, and we're about to do this episode where we review the like 30 new shows of the season. And they're like, oh, that sounds like fun. I'm like, no, I watched like I don't know, like most of them sucked. Like anime is bad, dude.
Yeah,
you find some good ones in there, but most anime is really
there's a lot
bad.
Of trash. Yeah, for every good one, there's like 10 bad ones. So.
And that's the way it works for regular TV too. Mm-hmm. You're like, wow, another sitcom that's just like mediocre. Who fucking cares? Yeah. Oh, cool. This one's a soap opera. Don't give a fuck about that. Oh, a medical show. That's original.
Yeah, for every, and then for every good show, there's also like a billion bad reality TV shows. So
right?
Like, yeah.
That's just the way it goes, man.
All right, man. Let's talk about what shows you think you're going to be watching this season.
Shit. Should we do that? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Starting from Crunch and going down, I am still going to be checking out Ascendance of a Bookworm. I'm not committed to it completely, but I've seen a few episodes. I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? That's going to be my cute girls doing cute things kind of show. I'm going to keep watching that. Of course, I'm watching My Hero Academia. Those are the 3 that I'm watching on Crunchyroll.
For sure.
And then on Funimation, I'm going to check out a couple more episodes of After School Dice Club, just see kind of what happens there. Definitely watching more Kimono Michi Rise Up, because I fucking love some of the jokes that they make. Not all jokes are good. Some things are a little excessive, like the dude sniffing the Cerberus butt, but I'm having a good time with it. It's pretty fun overall. The show that I'm expecting the most from is Stars Align. Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying that, and I'm definitely going to keep watching it. Then High Dive, I'm going to check out a little bit more of Chidori RSC, or what the fuck is it called?
Rifle Love.
Yeah, Love is Rifle.
Yeah.
And then on Amazon, I'm going to watch Vinland Saga, continue that, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch Babylon. I also didn't say that I'm continuing Dr. Stone. I am still watching Dr. Stone. It's fine.
It's Dr. Stone. Yeah, dude. Okay, so Crunchyroll-wise, I'm going to watch I don't know what the first part is, but is that Are You the Only One Who Loves Me, which is like the fucking Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde asshole guy. I'm going to watch, I think I'm going to keep watching some more of the basketball show. I don't know if I'm going to stay on it, but I'm interested to see how it continues because I'm so baffled by the way it looks.
I like how you're like, let's say what we're going to watch. And you're like, the one that's kind of about this instead of saying the titles.
I don't know. Both those titles are titles I can't pronounce.
I know. That's what cracks me up about it, though. But ORESUKI, Are You the Only One Who Loves Me? And Ahiru no Sora.
For sure. And then obviously I'm watching My Hero. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm continuing Dr. Stone because, it's Dr. Stone. Funimation wise, I think I'm going to check out Case File N221 Kabukicho, right? Which is the Sherlock Holmes show. Mm-hmm. Just because I like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
I also agree. I think Stars Align is the one that I'm looking most forward to watch every week.
It feels like it's in the same vein as O Maidens.
Yeah. I really hope.
Which worries me.
Yeah. I really hope it's like a solid show.
Yeah.
I want to watch some more No Guns Life.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to High Dive. I don't think there's anything on High Dive.
That's fine.
I mean, I take that back. The Outburst Dreams Boy. I want to watch episode 2
Just to kind of see what it is.
To see if I was like actually enjoying.
It was weird, man.
It was weird.
Let me know how. I want to know how episode 2 is because I have no fucking clue.
And then I'm gonna watch Babylon and Vinland Saga that are both on Amazon Prime because Vinland Saga is good, and then Babylon.
Absolutely.
Even though I fell asleep, I am very clear that is a good show.
It is. It's fucking good. I mean, when I was watching it, and I fell asleep. I'm like, well,
I have to watch it.
If it was another show,
you'd said fuck it.
Yeah. But this one, I'm like, all right, so I have to rewatch this one.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, it was a really good looking crime show that fucking had a twist at the end that blew my mind. But instead I'm like, I should rewatch it and really like not just say some shit. Cause I'm like, was it a twist? I don't think it was a twist. I don't know. I don't remember anything that happened. It's the time to watch it.
So that was this episode, which is the
2019 fall anime preview.
Nice. There's a bunch of stuff we watch. There's a lot of stuff we're not going to watch. Like we said, it's fun. We get to watch 30 episodes, and then we go, fuck, these are all bad, right?
Now go to animeplaylist.com and choose all of your favorite intros and OSTs of every show that you've ever seen.
Use the promo code. Use promo code Trippin' Juan.
There's no promo code. It's a totally free service.
Use promo code Trippin' Juan
Spotify
for 20% off your next purchase at
Playlist.
Playlist of America.
All right.
We don't know what we're doing next week, do we?
Yeah, we do actually.
What are we doing?
We're watching Black Fox. Came out a little bit before this season, and we could have reviewed it during this, but I feel like it's a movie. It deserves its own thing.
I already saw it.
Did you?
Sucks ass. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen it.
Okay. I think it's made by Studio 3 Hertz. We'll find out more in the future.
Sure. Okay, cool. So that's what we're doing next week. If you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TrevorTops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast didn't fit.
And you could go ahead and email us at instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. I had a good ass time watching all this shitty anime, and hopefully you watched all of it too and can totally, relate to us and our struggles.
For sure. Hey, if you want to get a hold of us or help us out, why don't you send us a message suggesting what you think the worst anime was of this season?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because me and Trip are pretty at odds right now. I'm not really sure what it is.
It's it was a mess out there because I don't want to give Kyle the same shit that he's already seen, but also like he's already seen kind of everything at this point.
And he's pretty desensitized. So I feel like we gotta fucking get him good.
Yeah, we gotta get him
this season.
Let's get him, boys.
He's watching fucking Black Bible. That's what he's watching.
All right.
Anyway, this is Bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Mommy.
Hey Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.